Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is Pulvis et Umbra Sumus. It was written by Matthew Sanderson, and it's from a collection entitled Fear's Sharp Little Needles. It was produced by Stygian Fox, and it's available from the Drive-Thru RPG. Our game master is Matthew Sanderson, and this is a one-shot. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Matthew?
Right, thank you very much, Tom. So, the date is the 21st of December, 2019. You as a group, maybe not connected, you don't know each other as yet, have taken various plane flights across the country, heading towards the little town of Eagle Lake up in Maine. So, because this is a very much backwater area, there's no direct plane flight to it, so you go to the closest airport, and even then, that doesn't take direct flights from many airports. You all connect via Logan International Airport in Boston, and then head up to the Presque Isle International Airport, formerly the Northern Maine Regional Airport, because the airport changed its name since I wrote this scenario, so, which is in Presque Isle, Maine. It's right up in the top northeastern corner of the state. Now, because it's so close to the Canadian border, there's quite a mix of languages up here. There's almost as many people speak English as they do French. But from there, you've all been coming up here for the same reason. We'll get to that in play. But you arrive at 3 p.m. So the plane, which doesn't have many people on it, it's a Saturday, it's an afternoon flight. As you're landing, you can see that it's already snowing fairly well outside, and that it's getting dark. Sunset occurs at 3:47 p.m. at that time of year. Sunrise the next morning would be 7:14. So they're long, dark days, even with it coming before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that it's almost pitch black. So as you land without any problem, you filter off the plane and go through this relatively nice but small airport. Going through to baggage claim, you're all collecting your bags, and there's various people here which are evidently locals, or they're having commuted. They're coming back for the weekend. They pretty much pick their bags up and go straight outside, going to their cars out in the parking lot. Whereas the four of you start to have a look around and see that there is a Hertz car rental booth off on the far side of the room from baggage claim, and you are the only four people with bags in tow that are heading in that direction. So we'll do a quick round robin if people want to kind of introduce how they look, how they're acting, what they've got with them, as you all gather waiting at the same car rental desk, waiting for the attendant to come and deal with you. So we'll start with Fran and go around.
Well, thank you so much. My name is Fran Willis. I'm from Texas. I am a 30-year-old woman. I am a museum tour guide down in Houston. I speak multiple languages, and right now I'm working basically for minimum wage. All my education has been for naught. They want me to go back and get even more education before they're going to let me do anything like become a curator. But I've just received a strange letter, and I've been told I'm part of something, so I'm on my way to Maine. Here's these other people.
Okay. Next round, we'll go to Raphael.
Hey, Ralph Miller. I'm from New York City. I'm a train conductor down in the belly of the city. I keep people moving, you know. About 6'2", 240, you know, a nice old pot belly from eating my donuts and bagels on the train. And I ain't got time for bullshit. I'm up here. I'm hopefully get some money and get the hell back to New York. These freaking trees freak me out. Too much green.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a lot of green up here. Right. And next round, we've got Kendall.
Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm Kendall Osborne. I work for the Department of Motor Vehicles. Philadelphia. Oh, yeah. In the office. That's me. Kind of struggling to make ends meet here. Just a single father. My daughter's with her grandma. I'm responding to this odd letter to head out to see some sort of reading I'm going to. I'm not sure what this is all about, but it might end up in me getting a little extra something to help ends meet. Sure could use that, helping raise my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, and last up we've got Ed.
Yeah, I'm Ed. I'm a young kid originally from Detroit, but I moved to Chicago with a couple of friends trying to chase my dreams, saving up to go to culinary school. But unfortunately, all of my friends have passed from drug overdose and other accidents, and so it's just me. I can't really afford the rent on my Chicago apartment anymore. My savings for school are going away, but hopefully this will reading supposedly. I don't know who this lady is, but I don't know. Here's hoping. So I'm here in the freezing cold.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, it is cold out there. And even as you're stood waiting for the attendant to come over and deal with your car hire, you can see out through the glass front of the arrivals section of the airport that it's dark skies and it's getting darker, and there is just more snow starting to come down. But after a few moments of maybe eyeing each other up and maybe starting some small talk, a young lady comes to the desk, smiles pleasantly and says, how can I help?
Well, I need a car. I need to rent a car so that I can drive out into rural Maine. Here's my license and my information.
Okay. Yeah, she has a look at the driving license, catches the name, raises a slight eyebrow. Oh, you're with the Atwood party, yes?
Oh, yes, Miss Ophelia Atwood.
Yeah. Are you all with the same group?
Yeah, I'm with that party too.
You're all going to see this woman, Ophelia Atwood?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
I understand. I understand that we're going to her will reading.
Oh,
She's
so you're all
passed.
members of her family.
Well, no, I'm not.
Another
Anyway.
bread.
Not that I'm aware of. See, it says right here.
Well, that's the same letter that I got. Seems we're all named in that will, but I don't know who this woman is.
The lady behind the counter just shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't realise it was such circumstances that brought you here. All I knew is I've got a list of names for prepaid cars for you. So she brings up a series of clipboards with forms to fill in. All of the payments being taken care of. They've even given an extra 24 hours just in case the weather causes any problems. That it's this time of year we get this, that there can be cancellations of flights out of here, so we put in an extra 24 hours just in case. As it's all paid for, so the only thing that you'll have to worry about is if it comes back, just report it. If there is any damage, just report it to us and we'll take care of it.
Oh, fine, I'll sign on the dotted line.
Yeah. Do you all want to take separate cars, or did you want to car share? I mean, we've got 4 cars set for you, but if you wanted some, if you're all heading to the same place and you wanted company, then
What do y'all think? I find that fine.
Oh, I find that fine. It would be ridiculous to waste all 4 cars on us.
I'm good, but only if I get to drive. No offense.
Well, what did you say? You was
I'm a conductor.
a train conductor in
I drive in
New
New York.
York.
I want to be a cab driver. I'm trying to save money for a medallion.
I have no
About a-
problem at all with you driving, sir.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, fine with me.
okay. The lady takes through the clipboards back. Then says, if you do change your mind, then say you've got 24 hours if you do want to come back here and get another car for any reason. So they're not going away, but just thought it's. I know I certainly don't like driving on my own, so.
How about some gift cards for the cash value of those 3 cars we didn't use?
Give me a persuade roll. see if you can get some money out of it.
07 out of 30. I
Okay.
wasted it on that.
Never wasted. And she says, "Sure. I mean, if you don't use the other vehicles, then when you return the one you've got, then I'll be able to give you some redemption slips when you bring it back." Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem for me.
Got something 4-wheel drive?
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. Even chains are in the back as well, just in case you wherever you're going does get particularly hairy. So she hands you the keys, complete with a fob with a kind of push button on it, and gives you directions outside across to the lot where it'll be waiting. So yeah, if heading outside, it's biting cold, but you can easily dart across the road. There isn't that much traffic around here, even with it being an airport. So you're able to find it by kind of clicking and waiting to see which one the boot opens or the lights start flashing, so you're able to pick it up. Yeah, big, black, honking off-road SUV. So there's enough room for about 7 of you in that thing.
Oh,
Plus,
good, because
plus luggage.
we've all got luggage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can load up and then be on your way.
You know, Fran, you brought quite a lot of luggage for something that's only supposed to last a couple of hours.
Well, women. I figured I'd take a little bit of vacation and stay in a hotel after this is all over.
Can't wait to get back to the city. It's safe there.
Well, it's kind of its own jungle, isn't it? You got trees taller than we do here. It's just they're made out of concrete.
Exactly. Good old reliable concrete, not like this.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll sit in shotgun, as they say.
And jump into the driver's seat.
Are you married, Mr. Miller?
No, I'm not.
In a big city, and you're not married?
Told you I'm trying to save up money.
How about you, Mr. Osborne?
Well, I was married. My wife died about 6 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. Just trying to raise my daughter.
And Mr. Underwood.
You can call me Ed, please. No, I don't have time for that.
So you're kind of like
double
me,
shifts
not no time for marriage.
Good kid. Go out there and find yourself.
Well, let's be on our way. Do drive carefully.
I got this. As I back out with like a little squeal.
I'm quickly putting on my seatbelt. Follow those DMV rules.
Hey, Toots, look for the map in the glove compartment, please.
All right.
Thank you.
You don't have to call me Toots. You can call me Fran.
I forgot your name already. I'm sorry.
Wait a second. I've got one of these little things here called a telephone. It's got a map installed inside of it. Where are we going?
Speaking of maps, I haven't been able to pull it up anyway. I'd say on the phone, because you've got cell phone reception's great out here. There's no issues on that front. This is the kind of regional area that you can see. So you're down by, say, Presque Isle, the airport down in the bottom left, and then Eagle Lake and Ophelia's house, the address you've got for it, are on Eagle Lake itself, the geographical feature rather than the town itself. They both share the same name. Eagle Lake, the town, is on the southwest shore of the lake, Eagle Lake, and Ophelia's house is quite a way further down the northern side of the lake shore. So going to Eagle Lake directly then means you have to go around the top part of the lake and down and across. So there's no real direct route to get to her house. It's kind of a dice throw whether the quickest way would be to go up Route 11 or then Route 161. Route 161 would take you through, it would take you north and then you'd come back down. And it's also more well-kept roads more of the way. It takes about an hour and a half. Distance-wise, as the crow flies, between the airport and Eagle Lake, the town, it's about 35 miles. And most of the land around here is forested. Going up 161, that is quite open. There's plenty of fields the further south on the route you go. So it's nice open land. There's not that much traffic, particularly as the snow starts getting heavier and when you start leaving the more urban areas around Presque Isle and that kind of area. It starts to get lesser and lesser and lesser. You see fewer cars. It gets darker. There are fewer headlights behind you. There are fewer headlights that that pass you on the other side of the road. And as you start going off the main highway, or the main state route rather, and down through Wallgrass and then on the eastern side of Eagle Lake proper, it's very dense woodland all around you, and the snow is coming down quite hard. It's layering up on the road, so you're being fairly careful driving this. It's not a drive check worthy difficulty, but it's just being sensible and taking your time to get there. Then you're fine. And as about, say, the hour and a half time rolls by, Kendall probably thinking this is a bit weird driving and not hearing his daughter singing away to some Disney flick on her iPad to keep her quiet on a trip. So the amount of times you've heard her singing "Let It Go" from the back seat, this is weird not having a child's voice accompanying you all the way.
Music to my ears.
Yeah, or lack thereof. Yeah, you arrive without any difficulty. Seeing as you drive along the eastern and then northern shore of Eagle Lake, there's there's a handful of private residences out here that are fairly big. There's some money out here, definitely. It's fairly large, well out of the way estates. There's a good view across the lake itself. So you can see the settlement on the far side. So there's a good old distance between here and there, and it's a wonderful view. It'd be even better in summer. In winter, it's kind of stark and cold, but still quite a beautiful sight. It's a very picturesque route as you're heading there. Eagle Lake itself from the east to the west is about 10 miles long, so you're going over halfway out. So you're about 5-6 miles away from the town itself. And the last house you pass before you get to Ophelia's house itself is, you think, easily a good couple of miles back. As you are looking on the map and seeing that you're slowly getting closer and closer to your point of destination, you can give me spot hidden rolls.
I'm not looking at anything.
Nope, I just looking at the road.
Mm-hmm.
Regular pass.
Okay.
I barely missed mine, so I'm kind of looking not at the road, but I'm kind of zoned out just a little bit.
It's a hard, not regular part.
Ah, okay. Well, in which case then, I'll give you a bit more than just seeing this thing. I'll give you a bit more detail on it. As you're coming up round a bend in the road, you can then see a clear shot at what looks to be the entrance to the driveway to Ophelia's house. It goes down the slope towards the lakeside and opens up into this huge driveway where you've got a 2-story house plus roof, roughly square. A couple of bits kind of jut out, but roughly a square kind of floor plan. There's a little dock, and down at the bottom of the run, there's a small, what could be kind of a garage or barn that's a little bit away from the building. And there's a car parked up that you can all see that parked up in front of the building. Someone's got the kind of light on in the driver's seat, and you can see there is someone inside there talking on a cell phone. But what Kendall notices is, while everyone's kind of looking that way to see, oh, there's the house, looking in the opposite direction, you notice there's a couple of tire tracks going through the snow, although probably you think maybe a couple of hours or so before you've arrived here, because it's more so starting to pile on top of it. So you can see it's not fresh tracks, but you can see the indentations of tire tracks going up the bank into the woods. And you can see this car that's evidently tried to be parked hidden away from line of sight of the house, behind some bushes, behind a couple of larger trees. The door is wide open on the driver's side, and it's just sitting there abandoned in the snow.
Hey, did you guys see that? It looks like there's an abandoned car just pulled off up there.
Stop the car and take a look.
Yeah, somebody in distress.
It doesn't look right. In this cold weather, why would you leave your door open like that?
Here, hold up. I'll go check. How far is it off the road?
It's probably only about 10, 20 yards.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
I'll
be
come with
careful,
you.
Ed. Be
I'll
careful.
pull up a little closer so it's not walking to the
I'm in the
store.
back seat with him, so I'll jump out too.
All right.
Might just be somebody peeing.
Well, maybe, but
These tracks look like they're starting to get covered, so they've been peeing for an awfully long time.
Okay. So yeah, you can head up there. It's got a crunch, crunch, crunch as you're trundling through the snow, and go wiping it away from getting out of your eyes. And you get to the car. It looks like a regular sedan. There are chains on the wheels, so evidently it came up here prepped. The hood's cold, and there's a fine layer of snow over the whole thing anyway, so it's been parked here a little while. You think probably an hour, maybe two. The door's wide open. The light's long since gone off inside, but yeah, there's nobody home.
And
You
check,
do. Oh, go on.
check the back seat, the passenger seat, any like belongings, like a cell phone left behind or a purse or something.
There's nothing on the back seat.
is there?
Go on.
Oh, are there things that would indicate that this is a rental car?
If you go to the back, to the boot or the trunk, and kind of wipe it down, you do find there is a little familiar green square and a kind of E in white, so it looks like it's an enterprise rental.
Weird.
And in the footwell, looking through the open door, on the passenger side or the navigator side, you can see that the glove compartment's been opened, and while there's things just like maps and so that are in there, a couple of them have spilled out onto the floor, and on the floor of the footwell there's a couple of what looks to be 9mm cartridges, bullets that they haven't been shot. So it's not like shell casings, it's just bullets that are left on the floor.
That's peculiar.
Somebody. Is this no gun? Is there any footprints leading away from the vehicle anywhere?
You can have a look round. Give me your choice of either spot hidden or track.
We're gonna kill was spotted. Track's horrible. That roll is horrible. I don't know what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Footprints, I guess, in the snow.
There's
a lot of trees.
I
was like, I'm trying to look for footprints, but I'm like looking like
I'll
in the
step
distance.
farther away from the car. I'll step farther away from the car. Maybe I'll find them over there. Let's see how. 23. I think we found them. That's a hard to get out of.
You're able to see that there is definitely some kind of commotion here, and there is signs that someone did get out of the car in a hurry. But as you go, kind of feel dismay, even on a hard, you can see definitely they got out of the car in a hurry. They probably fell down, picked themselves up, and then started running deeper into the trees. But given that it's 2 hours or so, you can see the first bigger impressions because of there was more movement there. They slowly become less and less and less defined as footprints the further out you go. It's been too long that most of the furthest, lightest footprints have been covered well in since then.
So when you say like slower and slow, like how far out are you talking? Like, is this like 10 meters or 100 meters or?
How far are you willing to follow them?
I don't. How hard is it snowing?
It is snowing pretty hard, and by the time you get about 20 odd yards into the tree line, you're finding it harder and harder to keep following. You've got rough indentations that you think, well, that could be a footprint, and there's still a line of them going in that direction. It just seems that whoever got out of the car bolted and ran quite a long way.
Hello?
At this point, I beep, 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 and I'm like out the window.
Yeah, Ed, I don't know if This doesn't look too good for them. We might.
Hello? Can you hear us? Anybody out there? Just shouting out into the trees.
There is a response from behind you, as after you've noticed the beep 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 on the car. The guy who's in the other car parked outside Ophelia's house has climbed out and is now yelling in your direction. Hello, I heard someone.
Yeah, we'll be right over.
Is there light in the direction of the running footsteps? That's just out into the darkness. Oh, into the.
We'll have to see if there's a. Yeah, we'll go back to the car and get inside. We'll have to see if there's a phone at this house because
well, I'm sure there. I mean, I've got a phone right here. If we need to call 911.
Yeah, the vehicles have been abandoned. There's tracks, like footsteps going off in the woods. There's like bullets. Like 9mm bullets. I don't know.
Ultimately, it's not really our problem, but we'll do what we're supposed to do as citizens.
It's a rental.
Let's watch our ass when we get in there. If you got bullets there and somebody running in the snow and some guy sitting out here, this could be a fucking setup.
No, why would they set us up? Who am I? I'm nobody.
I seen that movie Saw.
Oh, did we all have sins that we haven't repented of? I'll tell you right now, I am a Southern Baptist and I go to church and I always confess my sins. So if there's some little guy on a bicycle,
I pull the car and I start driving towards the other guy.
No worries. Plenty of space to park, so it's not like you have to squeeze in next to him. You can drop it like 20 feet away from him and it's no problem. Right, there's the fellow that stood there is dressed in fairly smart business suit with a big thick overcoat over the top of it, a long one that almost goes down way past his knees. He's probably thinking his 50s. He's balding with some tufts of hair and some nice round wireframe spectacles. He's got a briefcase in one hand and he smiles as you all get out or park up and get out. Says, hello there. So you're the Atwood party, yes?
That's correct. There seems to be a car up there that's been abandoned. Looks like the person, what'd you say, ran off into the woods?
Yeah, it's just a rental car, just no driver.
Nobody else has shown up here?
And their tracks run way off into the woods. It's dangerous out there. They're going to get themselves killed if they don't get shelter.
No, true. I didn't notice anything when I parked up, and you're the only car that's come this way since I arrived. I mean, I've been here about 20 minutes or so.
You work here? You got invited up here? What's your deal?
He reaches into his pocket and he starts handing out business cards. The name is Dennis Carter of the Carter & Carter law firm.
Mr. Carter, could we go inside? It's very cold out here.
Oh, yes, certainly. This way. And he starts leading you towards the front of the house. As I said, the house is 3 stories, 2 stories rather, with roof on top. There's lights on in various rooms that you see, and there's a nice porch with a wooden porch with a veranda over the top of it, steps leading up to it, and then the front door and foyer immediately in front of it. The porch is all lit up by lights. And as you approach with Mr. Carter up front, pop! A few of the lights on the porch just go out. One of the rooms that's off to the right, the light just goes off in there, and also one of the lights on the upper floor as well. Which he looks around, thinking, "Oh, that's slightly weird."
But there was a pop.
Is there somebody inside?
The lights are on, but you can't see any movement inside.
Huh, that's need to get an electrician out here too.
Are there other people here? Is this you're the lawyer? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here for the reading. The will is supposed to be kept on site in the and there's a safe inside the house, I'm told.
Are there any other cars around the house? Like family?
You can see that the barn that I mentioned. This angle's slightly better view. You can see one of the doors is slightly open. And you can catch the grill of what looks to be a fairly expensive car inside.
Yeah. Well, it's freezing out here. Let's
Yeah,
go
let's
inside.
get inside. This is cold.
Find out
Well,
what
you go-
this nonsense is all about.
So as I say, the lawyer goes up to the front door. He knocks, waits a second, pushes the bell next to the door, and then he does look a little bit confused. He looks between the four of you and says, "This is a sorry, this isn't going a bit smoother. I was hoping that this would be quite a."
Bang on the door.
You give it a good old bang, and as you bang it with enough force, the door actually, the latch isn't that great. The door just opens. It's not locked.
There you go.
Open. I'm going in. This is cold.
Okay. You go inside into this small foyer, and the door inside then opens up. It's kind of a place where you'd hang your coats and boots and such. So that there are a few evidently ladies' coats hung here, some boots and other shoes which are neatly positioned on a mat. But the one thing that strikes you as kind of odd, and it's more accentuated when you go into the hallway beyond it, is that there's a fine layer of dust over everything in here, and dust that hangs in the air, almost like it's particles suspended in water. They're very slowly falling from the ceiling and moving through even just the air. The air swirls around you and kicks up these spirals of dust as you move through. The kind of rooms that you're in at the minute look a little like this. So you're coming in through, say, from the foyer into the hall. It's a weird aesthetic inside. The house is evidently relatively old. You think you'd probably peg it as kind of turn of the century, as in 19th, 20th century. There's lots of wood paneling around here. There's lots of antique furniture, paintings hung on the ceiling and so on. Oh, but not hung on the ceiling, hung on the walls rather. Nice mouldings in the ceiling. Chandelier as well. But you can see through into the likes of the library and the living room because it's all open plan. There's no doors in these. It's just big doorways going inside. You can see there's a kind of a workstation set up on one corner where there's this kind of top of the line iMac that's there. There's a huge TV screen that's almost like a home cinema system that's in the living room that you can see. It's a juxtaposition between antique and modern and quite high tech, and that seems to kind of permeate much of the house.
How long ago did this Miss Atwood pass away? It's like nobody's been in here cleaning for quite some time.
This is where the lawyer, if you're turning to look at him, he's looking somewhat almost catching flies, but then he realizes that there's dust getting into his mouth and he shuts his mouth pretty quick. But he looks just around with utter confusion and shakes his head. I was here 2 days ago and the house was spotless.
Yeah, well, we just broke and entered into a wrong house then, buddy.
Well, I'm
This is
wondering
the
if someone has
address.
broken in.
There's the address on the outside of the house.
Let's match it up to the letters. Is this the same address here?
Oh, this is definitely the right house. There's no other house around here for at least a couple of miles. And I've been up here enough times. I know the place.
And this is it, huh?
Yeah, this is it.
It's like it's moldy in here almost. This is
It's dusty.
dusty. Is it?
Yeah, I mean this looks like it hasn't been lived in years.
And you say it was just 2 days ago it was in good condition.
Yeah, I mean, it was spotless when I came up here to have a word with Ophelia Junior. Yes.
Well, it's not that way now. Where are we supposed to have this reading? Are there going to be other relatives here?
Oh, only Ophelia Junior. It's Ophelia Atwood Senior that's passed away. I was under the impression that she'd be here to meet us. That we'd basically go into the library. That she would provide me with the documents there, and then we'd just sit down, do the reading, and that would be it. So this is very unorthodox.
Is this the correct day? Are we here too late or too early?
Definitely the 21st. So we are. This is the right place. This is the right time.
Oh,
So
I
felt,
wonder.
hey, Ophelia! Loud, big, bellowy.
You hear the sound echo through the house, but there's no response.
I wonder if this dust is just kicked up from maybe the air conditioning system that hadn't been on for a long time. Might have just kicked up, spewing out all this dust.
Let's see if we can get some lights on.
Yeah.
There's a few of the rooms that have got lights on. So the library's lit, the living room's lit. The dining room, when you're looking through in there, correlates with one of the rooms where the lights was on when you were outside, and then it's one of the ones where the bulb popped and it's now off. The light switch is still on the on position. You flick it a couple of times, the bulb's gone.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah, you can see there's bits of glass that are over the dining room table.
So it's still screwed in, but the glass is shattered.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a very old school light bulb then.
Did somebody break the light bulb just now?
Doesn't look as though it's been touched. And having a look around the dining room, everything here is pretty pristine. It doesn't take a spot hidden roll to notice that the dining room table is this nice, long, polished wooden table. Nice candelabra, like you think probably solid silver that's positioned along it. But there's only one chair at the table and evidently only one placemat set for any kind of meal. And there's the wear and tear that you would normally find on such tables as stuff's taken on, taken off and such, is all located at that one end of the table as if there's only ever one person that's used it.
Oh, this lady's quite peculiar. Always only has one spot she sits at her table.
Is it warm in the house?
Moderately. Yeah, you think the heating was on, but it's probably gone off now.
I'll try to find the furnace and just turn it on because it's cold outside.
Okay. It doesn't take too long. You go through into the kind of the rear hallway and then into the kitchen. The kitchen is like the Mary Celeste. There's nothing out on the counters. Everything is packed away, and it almost looks like a show home in the sense that it doesn't have that feel as if it's a working kitchen that anyone lives here and uses it. But you can find a doorway there that then goes down into the basement. And the basement, the layout looks like this. There we go. So you come down the stairs and it takes a left when you head down there. And then you're into this landing area with a wine cellar behind you. There's furniture storage directly ahead of you where it looks like some accumulated bits and pieces from yesteryear have just been piled up again quite neatly. There is a generator and fuel store next to it, which you find, so you probably make a beeline for that. And you find that, yeah, there is a generator there. It's just that the fuel's run out. But there is plenty of fuel left here. So if you wanted to fill it up and get it going again, then that's not a problem.
Yeah, sure. If I'm familiar with that, then I'm going to go for it. Because from where I'm from, it's more of an electric heating. But this is, yeah, I'll get it going.
Yep. So then you can feel the thing warming up, and it will then start to pipe heat through the rest of the house within probably the next few minutes. It takes a little while for it to come up online.
At some point, sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
look at Fran, and like aside from the lawyer, and I'm just like, kind of keep your eyes open. Something weird here.
Now, if the predominant light right where we are is coming from the library,
and the chandelier that's above you in the middle of the hall ceiling.
okay.
So
Because
that illuminates it.
I just naturally want to get into the light. So, if there's a place, it's been a long flight and everything. If there's a place to sit down, and like you say, the dining room just has the one spot. I'm just going to wander into the library and have a seat and look around.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more seating in there. There's a series of sofas that have been, or couches that have been arranged in almost like a horseshoe, or at least three sides of a square at the very
And
least.
are they really dusty?
Oh, there's a fine layer of dust over everything. When you sit down on it, there is indeed a poof of dust that comes off this thing.
I sent you a message, Matt.
Hey,
I sent you a message a little while ago.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
do you have a phone number you can call Miss Ophelia Jr. see where she's at?
Yes, I do have a phone number. Let me try it. He goes away to find the number on his phone and then starts to dial, which gives me a chance quickly to reply to a message.
I wonder if there's any coffee here at least.
I can
Yeah,
check, but I'd like to have a seat for a few minutes. That's very
Which sounds
strange.
sounds like Raf's going into the kitchen to hunt for coffee. As you do so, you can all hear a phone ring, and it's in the hall.
I'm still there. I'll go find it.
Okay. There's a side table, and indeed, when you kind of go wave your hand to get rid of the layer of dust, there is indeed a mobile phone on the table. It rings a couple of times and then cuts, as if the screen just dies completely.
I'll try to wake it back up.
Okay. You pick it up and go press around in it. It is completely unresponsive. It looks like literally the battery immediately died. Within the effort it took to ring and vibrate was killed the last of the battery.
What the heck? Hey, Mr. Carter?
Yes. I thought I heard something ring.
Yeah, is this her phone?
He comes to you. You've got an iPhone, probably one of the more recent ones, like an iPhone 11, if that's the most recent one. I don't keep track of Apple products that much. With a nice case around it. He says, "Yeah, that could be hers."
It was ringing when you went to call, and it just stopped.
Yeah. He tries pushing the button again on his, and at which point you can hear the automated, "You've got through to the voicemail of," but it's not ringing now.
I've got a charger. I'm also suddenly from Boston.
Hey, accents, they travel like most people.
They do. I've got a charger.
Oh, yeah, you can plug it in. There's various wall plug sockets on the wall. Which
Have
point,
ourselves a little mystery here.
and as you say, you're looking around the library, or at least taking in the scenery around you. A lot of the books here tend to be on probably just a couple of subjects. You've got quite a bit of history that's here as well. There's also geography. That tends to be the major subjects that are here. There's tons of copies or back catalogues of National Geographic that you find on one wall. So it's just all yellow spines across multiple shelves. Again, there's some look to be like some paperback novels as well there. So yeah, it's a part fiction, part reference library, you think, but say predominantly geography and history. There are lots of books on natural world, so lots of kind of collections of birds and animals.
The history, is it U.S. history or world history?
It's mainly world history. It's quite, there's a focus on the ancient world in one section, and then there's more modern, so it's like the 20th century and then the Cold War and so on.
What did the late Mrs. Atwood do for a living?
Oh, she was a lady of leisure, as far as I'm aware. The Atwoods have been quite not a prominent family, but they've been a local family that have been landed an old money for generations. They kind of keep to themselves to themselves.
I yell up from the basement, "Hey, up there, is that warm enough?"
It's it's getting warm, Mr. Osborne.
Okay, I'll be right up then. So I just finish up and head back up the stairs, join him in the library.
Hey, did you find any trapped people down there? Putting their hands in blenders and stuff.
Any light bulbs we can we can replace some of these light bulbs if we can find
Not
some.
that I saw. I was just in there's the fuel and heating furnace room, but there looked like there was a couple storage rooms. Let me go back downstairs, see if I can find some light bulbs.
All right. If you do that, Mr. Miller, I'm going to go into the kitchen and see if I can find some coffee and rustle us up something.
Oh, I can take care of that.
That's no problem.
No,
That
I
sounds
like
like
to
food.
cook.
Well, then let's go exploring.
It sounds like three of you are converging on the kitchen because that's where Ralph was heading as well, looking for coffee.
And we
So
have to sit here and wait. That's not what we anticipated, so we'll just have to take care of ourselves.
Right. The kitchen, again, going through the various drawers and cabinets, there's only a handful of utensils that look as though they've actually been used. There's probably about 3 or 4 sets of forks, spoons, knives. So there's not even a whole table spread that could accommodate enough, if there were chairs, accommodate enough people to sit around the dining room table. But also there's only a handful of plates, cups, mugs. You do find a mug, a jar of coffee that's up there. But yeah, the shelves in all these cupboards are almost bare. It's really sparse.
For somebody who has money, you'd think that there'd be plenty of stuff out here.
Oh, maybe she got stuff brought in.
Or maybe they're not doing so well. You know, I'd expect in an affluent household that there'd be shelves, there'd be cabinets filled with fancy china and you know, old gold and silverware for special occasions and things like that. But it's like there's nothing here. It's like she's been living out here all alone for, I don't know, centuries, looks like.
Here, Ed, chef it up. I hand you the thing of coffee.
I'll take it.
I take my black, thank you.
Any snacks? I could go for some snacks.
I start opening everything.
You find a half-eaten pack of crackers.
Mm.
Kind of stale.
Funnily enough, yes, they are. And also, you think, quite tasteless. They almost break apart in not quite mold, but again, they just crumble when
What
you
about
pick them up.
the coffee beans? How are they?
Well, the first thing that breaks, actually, is the seal. When you go to pull it open, the plastic just cracks in your hand and falls into into about 3 or 4 pieces as you try and take the lid off. And again, the coffee, when you give a good breathe to go and get the smell of the stuff, it definitely smells like it's gone off.
Oh, I'll scoop some of that up in my hand and like roll it in my fingers.
Yeah, it just collapses into almost like dust.
All right. Well, somebody paid for us all to fly out to Logan Airport. They paid for us to drive up here. I'm looking for hidden cameras because we're on candid camera.
Right, down in the basement, Kendall finds the storeroom where there's boxes of stuff down here. It's like spare parts to various bits and pieces. There's candles here as well. There's boxes of matches. The standard stuff that you expect would be like a household reserve of just in case the shit hit the fan. Here's where all the stuff would be. And you do find a small box of light bulbs.
Oh, cool. Do they look like the modern type, like the LED stuff, or?
They seem to be. They're not so much LED. They're screw in and bayonet
The old
bulbs.
incandescent light bulbs, right?
Yeah. But they're also what's the word I'm looking for? Low energy. That's it. What I'm looking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect. Like energy saver. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So I'll grab a couple boxes of those. I'll even grab a candle and a box of matches too, just in case.
As you go and grab a couple of the, you imagine to get your fingers between the couple of boxes in here. Yeah. As you grab hold of them, your hand just goes straight through the paper as it just collapses.
Oh,
and also straight through the bulbs inside, which also are just like paper. They just collapse from your just the lightest touch. You even hear again a pop as the interior of the bulb goes.
Oh my God. But what about the candles and the matches? I'll try to grab a couple candles and a couple
The candles you pick up, they're a little soft. But yeah, when you go to grab the box of matches, again, it's just like paper. You put your hand through it and it just collapses.
Oh, this has got me very curious now. I'm going to start looking for whatever supplies they have down here to see if it's all like that.
Everything you find it almost feels ancient, even though these are fairly modern bulbs, but it's almost as if you've touched something that's hundreds of years old and it's collapsed in the lightest touch.
There was a kitty corner to that room. Was the room with the old furniture just with tarps and stuff piled over it?
Yeah, there's a few sheets on it.
Yeah, what does that look like? How old is that furniture looking?
The furniture's mostly antique, but some of it looks a bit rickety, which might be why it's down here in the first place. And there's some other bits of it that still look fairly sturdy. There's a quite sturdy, what looks to be a circular table, maybe like an old card table that's there.
Huh. This is not right. I go upstairs to tell the others, it's like, guys, something's not right. It's not mold. It's like the stuff's from 50 years ago.
Well, hey, I mean, look at this. I'll take some of the coffee beans and just crush them in the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I love coffee. That doesn't even really have that's certainly not fresh coffee.
And yet we can see by the brand, we can see by, you said the light bulbs, these aren't 150-year-old items. They're things that were obviously purchased from the store not too long ago, but they've aged.
Exactly.
Somehow.
There were brand new boxes downstairs of energy saver light bulbs, but my hand just went right through them.
Is there an upstairs here?
Yep. So there's 2 stories, say plus basement and
Yeah,
plus
I'm gonna go check upstairs. I mean, if this Ophelia Jr. isn't here, then I just say we go. I mean, there's no reason for us hanging around here.
I think we're on candy camera.
Oh, let's go see if the film crew's upstairs. So I'm gonna go.
The lawyer agrees and he says, "Yeah, I mean, I'm not liking the fact that we're here and the owner isn't. I suggest we actually all go upstairs together.
All right.
If she's not there and we can't find her, it shouldn't take more than a couple of seconds, really. Then I suggest that we go back downstairs and we probably either go back to my office or go back to town, because
We can find out
like I say, I've been here and the owner not been here.
a hotel or a motel in town. Yes.
Oh yeah, there's a perfect hotel actually, the Lakeside Hotel.
Oh, excellent.
I could recommend that in a heartbeat. It's a lovely place. They'll almost certainly have rooms this time of year as well. We don't get much traffic through here. It's mainly they have a lot of their business in summer.
Well, I can't for the life of me imagine what kind of crazy operation has gone on here that they paid for airplane tickets, not cars. And
To go to an old dilapidated house.
yeah, full of dust.
Kendall, didn't you say you found bullets in the car?
Yeah, they
Unfired
were,
bullets.
yeah, a couple of them. They looked, like medium size, not hunting rifle things. Just
9
like
millimeters.
handgun rounds. Yeah,
Handgun bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to find shotgun bullets out here in the woods.
You don't really
Handgun
go
bullets.
hunting. You don't go hunting with a 9 millimeter. That's a handgun round usually.
Well, let's go upstairs.
How are the stairs? Are they rickety and ready to collapse? Or are they?
They creak a little bit, but not anything more than you think a house that's about 100 years old would creak.
Got it. Okay.
Right, and the upstairs. Yeah. So you arrive on the landing. So the stairs go up, then they do a loop back and then go up again after a landing. And you get to the central landing, which then all the other rooms go off. You can see there's the open door that goes through into the study. The door into the master bedroom's closed. You can see also then that there's what could be various closets and bathrooms that go off here and guest bedrooms. All the doors to the guest bedrooms are open, so you can see into those. They look like they haven't been used in years. When you take away the layer of dust, that is, the dust up here is thicker. But more so the fact that the beds are neatly made. It doesn't look as though anyone's signs of sleeping in them. So the one that is shut is the master bedroom door. That's the only one that is closed.
What's the study look like when you peek in there?
Step in there. Check it out.
Yeah, the study itself, again, very, very, very dusty in here. You can see that there is a large, what looks to be a mahogany partner's desk that's in the, I can't remember what they call it now, the bit that juts out where the window is. Or is it a bay window?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bay window.
So yeah, the window, the desk is sat in front of that, so that it will give a good, nice view over the lake if it was during the daytime. You can see there's, say, a nice chair in front of it, and there's piles of papers or something that looks maybe like papers on the desk, either side of the work area. And there's a quite nice high-spec laptop which is sat with the monitor closed on the desk between these piles of papers.
I'll go walk in to take a look at the piles of papers. I assume, otherwise I would go straight to the master bedroom and see what's in there. But
Oh, Fran,
I'll check the papers.
that's none of your business, Fran. What
Well,
do you
she might be
think?
in there. What if she's hurt?
Well, looking for her, but looking through her papers.
Nope, came here to hear the reading of a will. Let's see if this is the will. Or
With Fran on that one.
I still
Okay.
say we're on some sort of TV reality show.
Well, if they pay me, then
Exactly. We better get paid. It's like they say, if oh well, we gave you a free trip out here, I'll say that's bullshit. It's a waste of my time. So I'll look at this whatever's on the desk.
Sure. Yeah, you have what looks to be, again, the pile of dust, or at least a layer of dust over everything. Giving it a quick blow or swipe with the hand, you find one is a pile of newspapers, the other is a pile of magazines. Things like Time, and they seem to be lots of back issues again. They've evidently been well read repeatedly. But the first, at least the ones on the top, look like they're fairly old. There's a newspaper headline which is talking about the Fukushima nuclear disaster, and then also the impact of the Boxing Day tsunami on one of the magazines.
Is there since I've got a history back, I've got a lot of history. When I look at them, do they look like they're just, let's say, a sequential, random sort of thing, or are they specifically very prominent events? That
Gotcha.
that are there.
Yeah, you'll have to like go through them to have a
Right.
look.
I'll
at
just
some of the
I'm looking at the covers. That's all I'm looking.
give me a luck roll.
37. Oh, what is my luck? I never rolled for luck.
Get 3d6
yeah.
times 5 if you haven't done so.
Same here.
That's 70. Okay. Yes, I got 37 out of 70.
Okay. In which case, then you only like move the first one off the top, and as you touch the paper, it crumbles.
Okay.
And you're almost having to swipe the broken remains of the first magazine off the top to then get a clear view of the ones underneath. And this goes, the further down the pile you get, it looks like there isn't so much of a sequential order because the timeline jumps around a bit, but you're getting a good idea of the kind of running theme that goes through everything here. This is a catalogue of disasters, atrocities, environmental catastrophes, and the large majority of those environmental catastrophes are man-made. So there's lots of coverage of things like the Deepwater Horizon incident, various oil tankers running aground off the coast of various places.
3 Mile
so
Island.
the ozone layer depleting, the big hole down over Antarctica, and it's all the same theme.
This paper is like it's the kind of stuff you might find in an old an old storage unit. It's been exposed to the weather. It's crumbling, just crumbling paper.
That's like the stuff downstairs.
I don't understand. This is like it's all been up here for 100 years, but with the dates, it can't be. These are all seems like I'm going to assume it was Miss Atwood, young Miss Atwood, um, maybe Ophelia Atwood, seemed to be obsessed with not natural but man-made disasters.
It's almost like everything in this house is being like dehydrated at an accelerated rate.
No, I mean it wouldn't take long if this was outside. Just a couple of seasons. Did we check her adult? Is she in?
I'll go check. I just want to get out of here. This is
not healthy.
I'm kind of done with this here. Check, trying to make sure she's okay.
You find the lawyer knocking at the master bedroom door, but quite gently, and he seems quite timid. He's very much uncomfortable being up here.
I'll be the one that gets sued. I'll just open the door.
So it seems like as you and Raph decide that you're doing a beeline straight for the door. Hey, you open it up, and the master bedroom's neat and tidy. Again, looks like the bed has been. The bed looks more like it has been used rather than the guest bedrooms that don't look as though they've probably ever been slept in. The mattresses are still perfectly firm and at least in their shape. The master bedroom, you can see the mattress. There's that kind of telltale sag of where someone evidently was in here. There's multiple pillows piled up the back, but there's no sign of anyone in here.
I go to the bay windows and look in the direction of where the person or people from the car tromped off into the woods. See if there's any light or any sign of a camp or something out there.
Spot hidden. This is going to be an opposed roll versus my stealth.
Oh. Oh, darn it. No, that's not 09. It's oh no, that's 60. It's 60 and no, and my spot hidden is 50.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's the other way around then. It'd just be 90.
Yeah. I thought it was a 9, then a 90, then and it's a 60.
Okay.
A fail still.
Fair. No, you have a good look around out there.
I'm worried about that driver, that car. I mean, this is a mystery here, but someone could die out there, guys. We should bundle up and try to look for him.
We don't know that there was anybody even out there.
Dial 911 and let the cops do their goddamn job, and we can go find some coffee and bagels.
I like that thinking, Ralph.
I agree.
Let's go.
This is not right. Someone's life could be on the line. We could help them out.
What are we supposed to do? All go out there and freeze to death ourselves? There are people that do this.
I'm not saying camp the night out there. I'm saying bundle up so we can spend like an hour searching and then come back. This person could die.
Mr. Osborne, you could get out there and get lost in no time, and then we would be dead.
Is the snow that thick now?
It's pretty heavy out there,
Oh,
and
right.
as you look out the window again to try and get an idea to see if there is anyone lurking out there, and again to judge the weather, almost like a ripple effect or like a Mexican wave going through your group. First of all, Fran's phone pings, then Raph's phone, then Kendall's, and then Ed's, as all of you receive a text message.
Who's this?
No.
I got signal now.
Oh, you've got perfect signal here. Evidently there must be a mast somewhere, probably on the other side of the lake, you think. But yeah, you've got perfect signal here.
Got
all of you.
a message here.
Me too.
All of you have received a message from American Pride, the airline who brought you in, apologizing for the fact that due to adverse weather conditions, all flights that are going out of the airport, so the Northern Maine Regional Airport, have been cancelled for tonight. There won't be any flights leaving until tomorrow morning. To compensate you for the fact that you are going to have an unexpected layover, you are all given $150 credit to put towards accommodation expenses, and advise that they will give you an update at 7:30 tomorrow morning with if the weather has basically eased and when flights will resume.
Well, it's better than just a complimentary bottle of wine. Looks like we're all stuck here for a while. I was just going to call 911 and tell them about the abandoned car that we saw. Does anybody object?
No,
Oh,
please
no,
do.
All right.
Go for it.
911.
they need help.
Okay. Yeah, you get through to 911, so they ask as standard, what's the nature of your emergency?
Good afternoon. Good evening. We are out here on, what's the name of this road? We're on the north side of Eagle Lake, heading towards something or other. And there is an old abandoned car. We did a cursory look just to see if anybody was injured. We don't see anybody there. We do find evidence that there was somebody and that they walked off into the woods. And we find loose 9mm bullets. It's too cold and snowy for us to go out there and check them, but we thought you should know.
Yeah, no, that's very wise. Thank you. Thank you very much for your call. We'll send a car out there and with an officer to have a look round and see if he can find anything.
All right, we are literally across. It's literally across from where Miss Ophelia Atwood, her estate.
Oh yes.
But there's nobody here, so we're going to head back into town, and we're going to stay at Mr. Carter. What was the name of that place that you said?
The Lakeside Hotel.
We're going to be at the Lakeside Hotel if you need to find us. And my name is Fran Willis, and there are 3 gentlemen with me. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. And again, she then at which point confirms your name as well, and confirms your telephone number just in case she needs to get back in touch with you. Ask a few cursory questions like, have you got the registration of the car, blah, blah, blah. But
didn't think of that, but no.
Enterprise, rent a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
As I say, they will send a car out here with an officer.
Thank you very much. All right, that problem is taken care of. Let's get back to the warmth and
Yeah,
the food.
coffee and bagels sound great. Let's go.
Yeah, the lawyer, say Carter, is still looking very uncomfortable. He says, "I think we should go. We'll close up the front door on the way out." And
I'm sure there's just been some sort of a weird misunderstanding, and we'll probably find out in the morning what's been going on.
But yeah, this doesn't feel right.
You weren't privy to this document ahead of time? I mean, you're the lawyer. You probably have read it already, no?
No, I mean, it was registered so that we would be handling the estate as executors, but all the paperwork they insisted was kept on site. And there is supposed to be a safe around here somewhere, but I don't fancy going looking for it.
Well, we're up here in the study. Let's just have a quick look behind these pictures.
Now, question, did the phone get plugged in? Ophelia's phone?
Oh, yes, I plugged it in downstairs.
Let's see. I'm going to go and see if it has any juice while I'm looking for the safes.
You push the big round button at the bottom to try and get it to wake up. Your finger goes, or your thumb goes straight through the phone.
Holy fuck, guys!
What's the matter, Mr. Miller?
What's going on?
Just crack, and phone.
You ain't gonna believe this shit. Look.
Oh my God. It's deteriorating. Makes no sense.
Oh, I
don't-
saw the thing ringing just minutes ago. Is this a check? This is.
I don't know if it's my imagination, if it's from reading those Life magazines upstairs, but what if there's some horrible kind of radiation here that's breaking things down? We need to get the hell out of here.
I agree. Something's really wrong with this place. Something's making everything get all crumbly and deteriorated. We better leave before it starts happening to us.
In response to one of the comments you made while you say you were having a look around the study and you're saying having a look behind these paintings, there is a painting behind the fireplace, and it is on I'm losing my words tonight. It's on a hinge.
A swivel?
So it does. Yeah. It comes away from the wall, and there is a wall safe there.
There's your safe. Now I'm thinking we should get out of here. Is it a combo?
Yeah, it's a dial. So
well, is it as deteriorated as everything else?
Thank you. I was gonna say that.
Like, does it just crumble off and?
It's possible, Mr. Underwood, that you could put your hand on it and see if there's any resistance, because so many people they just leave it almost open.
Give me an idea roll.
Everybody. or-
32 is a hard success.
It's Ed, because he mentioned it. The safe is still pretty solid, and also considering that you start to think about this and think, well, maybe is this starting to decay? Certain things are more decayed than others. The tech in here that's fairly brittle has evidently suffered quite badly. Paper is almost crumbling before your eyes. But things like wood, metal, they seem a bit more resistant. They're taking longer to decay. So the safe at the minute is definitely still intact.
This
isn't decaying like everything else is, or at least not as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to spend any more time here. We're going to fall apart and turn to dust. Like everything else here. It's very scary.
I'm going to look down at my coat and give a good tug onto my coat.
Okay, yeah, you give it a good tug. Dust flies off it because, it's permeated the air here, and there's bits of it which you have to wipe it off your shoulders. But yeah, your stuff is still intact.
All right.
Oh, as the I was going to say the butler, the lawyer at the front door gives you a polite cough and says, "I think we should definitely be on the way to that warm coffee by now."
Indeed.
Yep. Yep, I'm leaving.
Okay. As he's outside and so waits for you to all come out and shuts the door behind you, he says, "I'm going to head back to the office. I mean, our apartment's above the law firm office anyway. Myself and my wife, Laura, she sends her apologies, by the way. She should have actually come down here with me. She's got a bit of a cold, so she's laid up in bed with some hot cocoa. I'm going to head back there, check on her, and then do some phoning around from the office. So I'm probably going to be up fairly late. If you need me for anything, just give me a call. The address is on the cards as well. If you did want to come pay me a visit, it's not that far from the hotel. It's just down Main Street."
Well, are these cards still intact? I'll look at mine.
Yes, they are, which goes against your theory. Everything else that was paper in the house has deteriorated. That hasn't.
But we got these outside.
Yeah, that's pretty recent cards.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you if we left the card here, came back tomorrow, that card wouldn't be doing so well.
Let's go. There's some 3 Mile Island scary shit going on here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Something's wrong about it.
I will slip that card back into like a mail slot if there is one, just as a test. We'll see.
You put back in. Okay, he says, "Well, I'll see you in the morning, if not before. So I hope you have a pleasant stay. And so as soon as I know anything, I'll let you know."
Thank you for all your trouble, Mr. Carter.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. He goes away with this kind of confused look on his face and slowly gets in his car, and then turns the engine on and starts to pull away. Do you want to get ahead of him on the road out there, or are you quite happy following him?
Yeah, he'll probably get there before we will.
Yeah, let's follow him. He's been around here a lot more than we have.
Do we need to put the chains on at this point?
Well, the chains have been on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you could have put them on at the airport, especially taking time and proper precautions to get up here. Right? And I take it Raph is doing the drive back to town.
Yeah, and I'll follow him back to town that way. I'm already kind of getting ticked off with this whole thing.
Well, that was the most horrific and frightening day of my life.
On the way out, I paid particular notice to where we saw that car ditched off to the side of the road. Is it still there?
It is indeed still there. You can see the driver's side door is still open, and you pass by without the sign of anyone being around here.
Creepy as hell. Someone died here tonight.
Stop real quick. Hey, Kendall, snap a photo of the license plate.
Yeah, good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then I'll accelerate a bit more and catch up to good old Dennis.
Gotcha. Yeah, you swipe the snow off the plate. You give it a click. Nothing particularly unusual about the plate, standard one. And well, with Maine plates as well. And you drive on off. Raph can give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh, 100.
Ah, okay.
I was like, oh.
You have just avoided a sand check, so there are some rolls you want to fail.
But
Okay.
your drive, we don't want our driver to be blind.
He's doing this. That's one of 100s hidden while you're driving.
Yeah, I was setting up I found to put on some highway, the ACDC highway to hell. I'm plugging it in.
It's kind of maybe a combination of that, looking at your phone. But it's one thing actually that you don't do that means that you get that 0-0. You are concentrated quite a lot on the car in front.
Okay.
Making sure you're almost kind of following in his not quite his slipstream behind him, but definitely following the same tire tracks, so that you've got maybe a bit more grip. And you say he knows where he's going. It's an easy drive back to town. So
I'm just keeping my eyes always towards the car where that was ditched out, looking, just hoping I see something. I feel horrible about that stranded person.
okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult then, because you're almost in the same kind of situation that Raph made his spot hidden check. I'll give you a spot hidden, but I'm looking for a hard, because it's going to be harder for you than it would have been for Raph.
Oh, there we go. 63. That's a clear. Oh, no. Now that's a 9. God, it's terrible. 93. Yeah, I'm very clueless.
No, there's just black out there. I mean, you're passing by other houses, so eventually, say 2 miles on, there are lights. You do see other cars parked up, but for quite a while, there's no sign of any cars coming back your way until you do see a police car driving in the opposite direction, so heading back down the road.
There you go, Mr. Osborne.
Mm-hmm.
They'll find somebody if they're out there.
I turn and I look. I try to make notice of the car number.
Okay, yeah, it's got car number 3. There's not exactly a big police force in Eagle
All right,
Lake.
cool. I just want to make note
And
of that.
if you're so inclined, call up Enterprise, give them the tag number, and tell them you're concerned. See if you can get some information.
I'm sure the police are going to do that once they get the car.
Oh, he's worried, not me.
I'm not overly worried. I just feel bad. Somebody could die. This is serious.
Well, it's true. This kind of weather, people die. Let's just make sure it's not us.
Okay, and it takes probably about another 10-15 minutes, but then you go further up north and then across the one bridge which goes across the river that feeds into Eagle Lake, and then back down the western side of it, so that you're then back in the town proper. It's nicely spaced out. It's almost just one road. It veers off, so there's another road which goes round the south shore of the lake, but then otherwise the main part of the town is this north-south main street with a couple of side streets off it. Starts off being fairly residential, then it becomes a bit more of a business district, so there's a row of shops like an outdoor strip mall, and there is indeed the bright sign of Lakeside Hotel, which you can see the lawyer ahead of you puts his indicators on as if to go in there, but more for your benefit, as if he's kind of signaling there's the hotel that way. You can see he winds down the window and kind of waves off with his other hand, and then he continues heading south down Main Street, and you're at the hotel. There's only a handful of other cars out front, but it seems like plenty of room here.
Mr. Carter seemed as confused about this whole situation as we are.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, let's park and go on. Is this a hotel or a motel?
It's not quite a motel. It's think something like a Holiday Inn, but not part of a chain.
Okay.
So it's kind of a basic hotel.
Okay. It's got an interior.
Oh yes, very much so.
Okay.
Ooh, they probably have one of those make your own waffle things for breakfast.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
You like
Jamie,
waffles, Ed?
No, it's horrible. It's those. I mean, generally, breakfast that's included with your hotel stay is an offense to the culinary community.
You ain't wrong. Yeah. Right, I'll say inside the lobby then. Nice polished floor, marble floor, a couple of pot plants, and this wall of heat that very graciously meets you as you head inside. And then the glass doors shut behind you. There's a counter at the far end, or the reception desk, with a door that leads through into a back office. And as you come in, you can hear music playing around in the background. So probably the girl from Ipanema, because that seems to be the only one that ever comes up in this circumstance. And a lady, and you think probably in her 40s or 50s, a bit hard to tell, comes out from behind the back room. She's coughing slightly as she comes out, so coughing into a hanky. Straightens herself up and says, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How may I help?"
Good evening. We've sort of been stranded here on our trip. I've got a thing on my phone that says we can have a room to stay over our airplane, a certain amount of money that we can spend each.
Oh, yes, yeah. We've had this happen quite a few times, so we know the drill. Don't worry. I'll just need to take a few details from everyone and see some of the codes that are on your phone, and so get some of the reference numbers and so on.
All right.
So she does the admin side of things fairly quickly, and gives you a set of rooms. You want rooms close together or adjoining, or we've got plenty of availability at the moment.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. I suppose nearby we can all have breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, breakfast starts at 6 a.m. goes through till 10.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a full buffet, so it's all included in the room charge.
Do you have vouchers? Do we need vouchers for something? Like
just
that?
give the attendant the waiter your room number when you come in, and they'll check you off the list.
Do you have a laundry service? We just came out of a filthy place, and mold and dust all over us. I kind of would like to just wash the clothes, if that's okay.
Oh yes, certainly. We've got laundry. That's no problem. The main kitchen is going to be open for a little while if you wanted something from there. Otherwise, there's also food at the bar. The bar's open until 1 a.m. If you feel like a swim, we've got a pool out back as well that's interior, that's heated. So if you didn't want to get a dip and clean up in a more in a healthy way. So, yeah, we've got quite.
I didn't bring my bathing suit with me all the way here to Maine in the dead of winter. But thank you very much.
No problem. So yeah, we have quite a few facilities here. There's a gym as well. All comes complimentary. So if you did want to go down there, we have a business center as well if you want to use the computer. So yeah, I mean that's all at your disposal on the tariff you've got.
Well, gentlemen, I think that I'm going to go up to my room and take a shower after all that dust. Then I'll probably come back downstairs to that little bar over there and get some food and some drinks. I'm not tired.
Sounds like a plan. A burger, a beer, and a bath.
That sounds quite nice.
And laundry is open still at night?
Oh, 24/7.
Oh, perfect. So then after a meal, I'd like to, if I could have that cleaned and then delivered to the room in the morning would be great.
Sure.
Eat first, shower later. I'm going right over to the bar.
Okay.
Young
So
people.
Ed's going straight to the bar. Kendall?
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry too. It's been there was nothing at the house all day. So yeah, a drink and a burger sounds good.
Okay.
I'll be down in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah,
All right, Grant.
I want to get this dust off my skin, so I want to go change real quick, shower, and then literally rinse off and go right down to the bar.
Cool. So Ed and Kendall, you going to the restaurant or bar?
The restaurant. I want to eat because the bar will happily drop off a drink for us, or we can bring one over, right? Yeah. So I'll just go with a nice tight whiskey and a burger.
And was it Ed that specifically said you wanted to go to the bar, or was you thinking food in the restaurant like Kendall?
right to the bar. Was I typing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a handful of people in the bar then when you head in. Obviously, the very much needed bartender is there. He's doing a good old bartender impression. He's currently cleaning a few glasses and putting them back. There's a nice array of whiskies behind him. There's, say, some good top quality stuff here. They have a quite good selection of liquor. There's a couple of probably what you think might even be locals rather than people staying at the hotel, which are down at one end of the bar on bar stools. And then there's another guy who's sat there in a business suit reading a newspaper. He's got a burger in front of him that looks like it's half eaten, but probably cold by now. He seems to be more interested in the stock market pages, in the newspapers rather than eating. So you have the bartender's complete attention. So what will it be, sir?
Do you have a food menu? Look at that first.
Yeah, sure. The kitchen's open quite late, so he reaches under the counter, pulls up a very well-used menu, nice laminated thing in a kind of leather cover. Yeah, it's
Okay.
typical thing.
I'll get one of these sliders and fries, and then
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, no worries. He takes your order and then potters on off to the till, which will then bring through to the kitchens. Likewise, then when Kendall sits down in the restaurant, you have a waitress come over to you, and like we're saying, care for a wine menu, sir?
Oh no, just a what type of whiskey? It's actually I'll go with top shelf whiskey, whatever you got.
Sure. She provides you with a cocktail menu as well, so it has all the spirits listed that you've got there.
Yeah, and this southwestern cheeseburger looks really good. Make that medium rare.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. Actually, she smiles, but then coughs quite suddenly, as if from nowhere, and recoils slightly. Says, "Oh, sorry, I don't know what came over me. I've got a frog in the throat." But I'll go and place your order now. Probably about 10-15 minutes.
Sure, thank you so much.
Okay. And she wanders off. So Fran and Raph go down this long arterial corridor. You've got two wings basically with this long corridor that goes off either side, and then rooms that either face the front of the building or the back that would then look back along to the other side of the lake. Your rooms, you've got one room between you that's empty, and then so you've got a little bit of space between. So they're spaced out. You head in.
I'll go in and I'll unpack just a little bit, and I'll go in and use the facilities and take a quick shower.
Okay. Yep. You head on inside. Again, drop stuff off. Head on into the bathroom. Got a towel that you pull off and wrap around you, and turn on the shower so the room starts to fill with steam. Give me a spot hidden roll, please.
50. Let's see. That's exactly what I've got. 50.
You're maybe slightly disconcerted that even though steam starts to fill the room up, you look, as are in most hotel bathrooms, there's a big mirror,
right,
which is behind the sink. You see something move behind you. You only catch a glimpse of it, but something moves as if it's trying to hide right in your shadow. There's nothing behind you,
right.
but you look back at the mirror and you see again, it's almost, you catch the edge of something that's deliberately moving with you and hiding behind you.
I'm going to try to reach back, see if there's like a cloth, or is there something that's, I'm trying to figure out the optical illusion.
Mm-hmm. No, there's nothing behind you. Turn around, and then you turn back round to the mirror, and again, there's just this hint that something moves.
I'm just going to get in the shower.
Okay, yep. You climb on in without any problem then, and it feels good. Getting the dust out of your hair, cleaning off, and it's all good. Raph, pretty much the same thing happens to you. That when you put everything down and then go into the bathroom again, you're confronted with this big mirror. That you can give me a spot hidden roll.
16 out of 50. Yeah, so hard.
Yeah, so again, something moves. You actually get a bit more of a glimpse at what this thing is. Something small, but hiding probably about somewhere between shoulder and elbow height that just moves behind you. You think with that good a roll, seeing this thing trying to hide behind you and then turning around and there's still been nothing there. You reckon if you were to make kind of almost like a sharp jump to the left or a quick turn to the right, you might be able to move quick enough that you could catch a better glimpse at it?
Even though I think I'm crazy, I'll do it real quick just to settle my nerves. When I see nothing there, I'll be okay.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing there. But if you want to try and do you want to try and outfox it to try and get a better look at it?
Yeah.
Give me a dex roll.
10 out of 50. That's extreme.
Perfect. You can give me a sand check as well.
Great. Oh, I failed that. 86 out of 50.
D20, please.
Oh, fuck.
Shit.
14.
Oh,
Idea roll as well, then, with that big amount in one hit.
24 out of 65.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately, you realise the horror. Yeah, I've just seen the name in the chat. Someone got it right. You see in the mirror as you move quickly to one side, this thing that is probably the size of a child with this overinflated head that is now just a mass of wrinkled skin, almost mummified, stretched across its face in bands. If there are eyes, they're hidden somewhere between these bands of folds of skin, and a mouth would probably be somewhere in between them as well. This grey, mummified thing with spindly arms and legs that are tied, almost tied together, floating in your wake, that just freezes like a rabbit in headlights when you see it. And the moment you lock eyes with it, or what you think might be in this mass of a face, it feels at first almost like you've put on glasses that are much too strong a prescription for you, that your eyes start to hurt. And as you put your fingers up to your eyes, you can feel blood starting to trickle down from the corner of your eyes, and then down the corners, the edge of your nose, as you are looking at something that should not exist in sphered space. This is something outside of space, outside of time, outside of everything that you consider to be reality, and your mind is almost overwhelmed by the sensation. How would you like to flip out?
I would like to go psycho on it.
Okay, you start smashing the mirror. So Fran can give me a listen check over the sound of her shower.
well, and it's 2 doors down, so I got an 07.
Yeah, you think you hear some banging and breaking glass.
Always. I'll turn off the water. Because our bathrooms are probably parallel.
Yeah, just with the one room intervening.
I'm trying to take some.
I've rinsed off, so I'm going to get dried off and put my clothes on.
Okay. Yeah, you can hear the sound coming from what looks to be, or what seems to be, Kendall's room. Yeah.
All right.
Or not Kendall's room, rather. Raphael's room, rather.
So it's going to take me 5 or 6 minutes to put all my stuff on, and then I'm going to go out into the hallway, and I'm still listening. He's still rampaging.
He's going on for a fair bit, and also you can give me a follow-up sand check when you start to calm down.
63 out of 36. I failed that.
Okay, this is only on a fair 1d3, so not too much.
Well,
3?
I
Okay.
rolled a 4 star. Oh. 2 then.
Okay, it's still enough to prompt about a madness, because I imagine that was more than 20% if you're back down to 36.
I'm at 34 now.
Yeah, the thing that freaks you out is that you've been smashing this mirror into oblivion. And you suddenly think when you start to regain your senses, shit, my hands are going to be cut up. There's just this almost like carpet of dust in front of you. Your hands are completely unscathed. And as you even look at maybe a shard of glass that's on the sink, you go forward to pick it up, and it just turns to dust in your hand. And at that point, you flip out again and start beating the shit out of the counter.
Okay, so if I hear this from outside, the first thing I do is I knock on the door. Mr. Miller, are you all right? Mr. Miller.
You knock on the door a couple of times and your fist goes through the door.
Little mommy, motherfucker.
I'm going to run downstairs and alert everybody.
Okay. We'll cut to Kendall and Ed. So, Kendall first. Your waitress comes back. Probably about. This is after about 15 minutes or so of things happening. So just about the kind of time that Fran will be running down the corridor to the front desk. The waitress comes back. At least you think it's the same waitress. You have to do a bit of a double take. You think she was probably in her mid-20s? Yeah, the woman that's in front of you now looks like the same waitress, but she's in her 40s.
Wait. Oh, okay. Someone else? That's fine. Oh.
She coughs into a handkerchief and comes forward, kind of staggering with a plate. Mentally says, "Oh, sorry about the delay. We've got our chef isn't feeling too great. I'm not feeling too great myself. But here we go." Yeah. She puts the plate down on the table in front of you.
Yeah, the waitress that was here that took my order earlier, she was coughing too.
No, I took your order. There's only me on duty at the moment.
Oh, miss. Yeah, maybe you should take the day off here. Here's a nice. I put a nice tip on the table for her, and I'm not rich at all. I'm actually kind of struggling to make ends meet, but I try to make this as nice a tip as I can. Please, you should try to take the night off early at least, get some rest.
Yeah, I really don't feel too great. Thank you. I'll let the front desk know. But she turns around and starts making her way back towards the door to the kitchen. And at that point, her leg gives way. Not in the sense that she goes limp, but her leg collapses into dust. And she falls forward and smacks into the front of the table, and there's just this eruption of dust that goes everywhere.
God!
You can give me a sound check, please.
Yeah, I was going to say I was going to get up and rush over to help her. So I guess midway, it's like, holy crap. And, hey, there we go. There's an 09. Okay, so I make it. I pass.
Okay, pass is a D3.
D3, all right. And there's a 3, of course. All right.
Unnerving, but not enough to send you into a bout of madness yet.
My God, somebody, waiter, or no, she's the only one. Bartender, cook. Your server, she's not well. She's really not well.
Oh, Ed can hear this along with the bartender in the bar, can hear the voice carrying through from the restaurant. The bartender turns around and says, "Oh, did you hear that?"
Yeah.
The bartender ain't looking great, and he's got this almost like pale complexion over his face now. And he's maybe wrinkles that weren't there before. Perhaps it's a bit hard to tell.
Hey, are you feeling okay, man?
Well, now that you mention it, he reaches forward to he's still wiping a glass. He puts it down on the with a kind of thump on the bar, and his hand just collapses. And he looks at this stump that's that he holds up in front of him, his jaw drops open in a sheer look of horror as he's about to scream, and then his jaw falls off, and he starts to crumble like a sandcastle in front of you. There are screams from other corners of the bar as this seems to be happening to other people in here as well. That there's now just a pile of dust where there was a half-eaten burger and a newspaper. Sanity check as well, please.
45 is a pass.
Okay, that's a D3 as well then for a pass.
3.
Okay, so yeah, you can hear Kendall's voice and the sounds of him running towards you, and Kendall coming in just to see these plumes of dust erupt from all corners of the bar.
I am running past it, and I'm running outside.
Out of here.
I'm getting out.
Yeah, I'm going with Ed outside. I'm running out.
Okay, you run out through the front door just as Fran gets into the lobby, and you hammering on the bell for the
Right. Yeah, and if I see them, I'm like, Mr. Osborne, Mr. Underwood, there's something horribly wrong.
All over. The people are.
Everybody turned into dust.
It's some horrible disease. Get out of here.
Mr. Miller's upstairs. He seems to be attacking something or smashing something.
I am through those.
You're through those doors.
I think I'm going to follow automatically. Just
no, in which case, the three of you run outside, back into the snow. Just as you see a few cars going past, that suddenly one of them just careens to a stop. The other one just seems to be wobbling as it's going down the road and smashes into a street lamp. As suddenly the front seat, you realize there's no one there, but just this cloud that starts to dissipate through the interior of the car.
This is like the Twilight Zone turned real. What's going on?
Am I turning into dust?
No, yeah. You look fine. The three of you look perfectly fine.
I breathe in, deep in, out. Do I feel like coughing? Am I?
You feel perfectly fine. In fact, it's almost like you can't. Suddenly you realize that you're not really feeling the cold all that much either. And as you're trying to take in everything that's happening around you, you can hear screams echoing on the wind that are coming from multiple buildings across the road and further down the street that suddenly get cut short. Lights start going off down the street. There are other crashes of other cars where their drivers have suddenly turned to dust and are hitting into buildings, crashing into each other, and coming to a stop. And after what probably only seems like a few minutes, there is just silence, and slowly the lights going out
We need to go back to that house.
Is it
Maybe
the
there's something
rapture?
there. Maybe there's something back at the house. Something we brought with us. We have to put back, or I don't know. We need to get back there.
What about Mr. Miller?
He has the keys.
Yeah, we need to get him out. We need to. He was with us, and we're fine. He's probably fine too. Let's let him know and get him out of here. So I'll run inside.
I'm not going back in there.
I'm going in.
I'll stay out here with Mr. Underwood.
I'm not letting another person die that I might have been able to save. So I go in after Mr. Miller.
We actually don't need him. We could just take one of these cars with a person.
Mr. Miller! Mr. Miller!
You run back inside into the lobby just to see the receptionist trying to crawl her way across the floor. Just this trail of grey being left behind her as she's just pulling forward on what's left of her arms, looks up at you pleadingly, and then just collapses in front of you into this pile, this grey covering on the floor.
I just cover my mouth, try not to breathe her in, and head to Mr. Miller, Mr. Miller.
Right. Yeah, this is about the time that you are coming round from your second dose, still looking at your hands and wondering, where the hell are the cuts? Where's the blood? This ain't right.
I look around the bathroom and I put my clothes back on.
Mm-hmm.
Rip the curtain rod, the shower thing, out of the wall.
Yeah, it comes out really easily, actually. And
Talk.
the metal bit's fine. The plastic
Alright.
ends are just crumbled into dust. On the
Where
end of
are
it.
you little mummy fuck? And I got it like a baseball bat, and I'm looking around.
Okay. You're looking around
Adrenaline is
the movement,
pumping.
and you hear the sounds of movement coming down the corridor, and Kendall running, shouting, "Mr. Miller! Mr. Miller!"
Go! And I go towards his voice.
Yeah, you run out to him. Kendall, you see Miller come out of his room, holding this shower rail.
It's me, Raphael. It's me. The people are they're bursting into dust all over the hotel. We've got to get out of here. Something's horribly wrong here.
Well, this little mummy fuck. He was
What?
in my shower. He tried to get me.
Then they might be all over the place. The people are disintegrating into dust. We've got to get out of here.
All right. And I follow me, and I barrel down and you see, I'm like, I don't have blood. I think I cut it off.
Apart from out of the corner of his eyes, both ends of his eyes, there's blood trickling down from that, but his hands are fine.
Anything that's not one of us that comes near me, I'm swinging at it. Because I'm like, obviously just lost my shit.
And I kind of sense that he's a little bit off, right? A little bit. He seems a little off. I keep a few feet between us, kind of friendly, but still a little bit of distance.
I didn't see him aggressive towards you though. Like I'm like looking. I'm looking when I'm not looking at normal human level. I keep looking low.
Yeah, and that's kind of catching me off guard too. So I'm kind of starting to look a little bit low too, but still trying to get us out the front door to hook up with Ed and Fran.
No problem. So outside, Fran and Ed, you still outside, or have you gone back into the lobby?
I'm calling the lawyer.
We're outside in the car.
Yeah, where's the business card? Where's the business card the lawyer gave you? Still have it on you, Fran?
Here, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna dial the number.
Okay, yeah, you dial it. It gets through, and Carter responds. Hello, yes.
Hey, I don't know how to explain this to you, but
Everything is turning into dust.
Everything's turning into dust.
What do you mean turning into?
Check your office. Check on your wife. Check everything.
At that point, on the other end of the phone, not him screaming, but you can hear a feminine scream, and then the sound of the phone being dropped, and his voice crying, Laura, what's the matter? I'm coming. It just recedes into the distance.
It's the rapture.
Coming down the road, there are a couple of pairs of headlights. They swing into the front of the hotel, and just as it pulls up near you, you recognise the car. It's the one that was pulled off the road outside Ophelia's place. A man gets out of the car, and the first thing that strikes you is the fact he's very dishevelled. I mean, he's wearing a kind of cheap suit and a vaguely warm coat, but also his hair's wild. His eyes are wide open, and there's blood that's trickled down from both the interior and exterior corners of his eyes. He just wildly looks around, sees you, and just points. You're working with it, aren't you? And he
Working with what?
He points down
You
down by
seen
your.
him too? That ugly little. You seen him too? That ugly little fucker.
Yeah, this is as you're running outside, kind of brandishing your shower curtain rail, and he's, yeah, you one of them. He reaches into his jacket, and then he points and shoots.
Oh shit!
So, can I have a luck roll from everyone to see who he ends up shooting at?
Probably shooting at me. I got a 92.
47 is a pass.
25.
It's a pass.
Okay, right. In which case, you say you're the one that's kind of run out, brandishing something big and looking like a threat. Yeah, he pops three rounds towards you at center of mass. So, That's 1, 2.
Mr. Miller.
The dice like me. Yeah. Yeah, that's 3 hits.
Oh,
Chest, throat, and forehead.
I'm dead.
You feel bam, bam, bam as the bullets hit you, and as they do, there's just fine little bits of residue of dust that hit you with virtually no force. You could all give me a sanity check for that one.
And then I'm gonna brain him with this fucking shower curtain for shooting on me.
He is a pass on the sand.
I passed it, believe it or not. 03.
Okay, failure is a D3. Pass 0.
Oh, 64 out of 65. Perfect.
I'm still holding my phone. Listening.
Yeah, you can hear. You think you can hear sobbing at the other end now, and there's definitely screaming and repeating the name Laura. What's happened, Laura? And then Raph goes in to charge at the guy with the gun. Yeah, he's pulling the trigger and just pumping more bullets your way, and they're just like they're as ineffective as snowballs being thrown at you. The bullets disintegrate even you think before they impact.
I rolled a 12, but I want to spend 4 luck to make it an extreme.
Okay, you certainly can. You don't have to though, because what happens is you bring up your shower curtain and you go to smash it. Where it hits him, you catch him pretty much around. So probably clobbering around the head with the thing. The exact part where his head would pass through it turns to dust, and you're left with 2 bits of a shower curtain. So one that flies off that goes past him, and the stump that you're still holding. He wildly just keeps trying to shoot you point blank range. Bullets go just smacking you with all the effectiveness of the snow falling around you.
Everybody stop!
Yeah, I think we're all on the same side here. We're somehow spared from this disease.
What were you doing at that house?
He looks at you, looks down at his gun, the fact that it's doing absolutely nothing, and he drops it and starts to leg it down the road, just screaming wildly.
I'm going to try to tackle him.
I was going to say, if I can get a punch off before he even dropped the gun, because I wasn't talking to him. At this point, I just had a mummy and a fucking dude shoot me, so I'm swinging at him.
Okay, yeah, Raph can give me a fighting brawl roll.
13. Hard.
Okay, well, he certainly ain't fighting back. He is just trying to dodge and get the hell out of there. I know he screws up. You pretty much get him in the gut, and he kind of bends over. That seems to have done something.
And I got damage bonus too. I got strength.
Oh, yeah, you definitely whack him hard. He's bent double. Roll damage.
2 plus. Oh no, yeah, 1d3, 2, and 4, 6.
Yeah, you definitely knock the wind out of him completely. He does double. He kind of lets out this big as all the air leaves his lungs as you really sucker punch him. And then Ed can give me a fighting brawl if you're trying to tackle him and get him to the ground and restrain him.
46 is a pass.
Oh yeah, he's a stationary target, so again he doesn't get to roll against that. You knock him straight to the floor, and yeah, he's just curled up.
Grabbing him by his cheap suit collar. I'm like, what were you doing at that house?
Seen the thing come down. Looking around, wondering what the hell was going on. What was her angle? What was she trying to play? What was this all set up for? That thing came down from the sky. It came down on a beam of light.
What thing?
The thing.
I know what he's talking about. I seen it too. It was in my shower.
It's in your shower?
What thing? What? That's what you were looking for. Like, what did it look like?
And I described exactly how you.
I'm gonna.
He's nodding.
I'm gonna look at where there's a piece, like a reflective glass from like a car or a window.
There are wing mirrors on the cars.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't ask for a spot hidden roll because you've been told about it. Yeah, something's trying to hide behind you.
What? Dex. I'm gonna be very
Give
stupid.
me a dex roll, yes.
22 is a hard success.
And there is this horrible, wrinkled, abomination of everything that is completely alien to this reality, you can give me that sand check.
Oh, 92.
Give me the D20.
Oh gosh.
Are we seeing it, or?
Oh, it's.
No, if you're just looking at him, you see nothing. But if you're looking in the mirror, that's a different thing.
Oh.
You got a 20?
I got an 18. I got close.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can give me that int check then as well.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, I failed my int roll though. 97.
Oh, okay. You don't actually flip out then. But yeah, you take that massive hit because this thing makes your eyes bleed looking at it. It gives you a headache. It gives you the worst sensation of physical input through your eyes that you have ever had.
Ed, what happened? What happened?
There's something hiding behind us.
I told you.
Where?
Oh,
Where did you?
What? I'm just gonna sit in the snow for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Did I see him look in the mirror?
Yeah, you did.
So I go over then, like after looking around, I look in the mirror. What the hell?
I don't want to see it.
What did he see?
Yeah, there's something hiding behind you, floating behind you.
I just quickly turn around. What the hell's that?
Yeah, you can give me a dex roll if you're quickly moving. You might be moving quicker than it moves.
48. Dexterity is 55. Okay, so I made it.
That's great. You can give me a sand check as well.
What the fuck? 63. I've taken 2 hits. I'm down. Oh, no, that's just missed. Oh, crap.
That's 3 for the D20 so far.
Oh, my God. It's a 2. I lost 2, Sam.
I love
Yeah,
it.
again, you're maybe not reacting so bad, but again, this thing makes your eyes bleed.
Ah.
I'm looking at it. That this thing is completely alien on every single fundamental level. That this is from somewhere else. And yeah, you manage to look away quite quickly. You see this thing that looks like a face looking back at you, and you turn away as quick. As Fran can see that, yeah, Ed's really not in a good state, rocking back in the snow. Kendall's got bleeding from his eyes. Raph is saying, "I've seen it." What are you doing?
I'm seeing their reactions and all this, and I'm resolved that there's something absolutely horrible going on. I'm just going to walk back into the hotel, to the bar.
Okay. Yeah, you walk in there. As you do so, a couple of the lights above you go out. And you get to the bar where there's just this got dust across the bar top. There's dust in the booths and a couple of seats down the end. But at least there's liquor here.
And is there a mirror behind the bar?
If you went down a little bit further from where Ed was sat, yeah, there's a mirror there.
Okay.
But admittedly, you've got a whole load of bottles in front of you, so it is kind of obscured. If there is something there, it's a bit hard to kind of see from where you are.
All right. I'm going to whatever's on the counter.
Okay, yeah, there's a bottle of whiskey there. Yeah, it tastes a little flat, and it's not got as much of a bite to it. Even under your hand, the glass almost feels slightly soft.
Well, I'm just going to sit there. I think my mind is, even though I didn't do a sanity roll, I'm dread. I'm under a stress, a dread.
That sounds perfectly reasonable. So the three of you outside, and your fellow that you've got pinned down on the ground, he's just shaking. And especially as he sees Ed having gone over to the mirror, he just tries to keep his eyes away from all the mirrors.
How is it behind all of us?
There's one for each of us.
How is it behind all of us?
Yeah. Alex Jones was right. They don't want to eat our babies. They want to turn them to dust, though.
You listen to that crap, Ralph?
I get bored.
This. So they're like parasites. There's one on each of us.
Is one, or is it the same? What?
All right, I'm gonna go and break another wing mirror off of a car.
It snaps
And-
off in your hand.
So one of you get behind me,
Okay.
and then
And
I
then-
go.
So I go behind him.
I go so you could just see it, like in front of me, and I go this way, so we both move the same way, and
Yeah, you
both
Looking
try to
through-
jump, and I see if there's two or one.
looking at this, looking with two of you into the same mirror, you both see that something moves behind both of you.
We each got one.
Yeah.
But
So were you able to hit it when you were in the bathroom upstairs?
No, I destroyed the mirror and the cabinet, and I broke the mirror with my hands, and it turned to dust. Nothing. My hands should be mangled right now. Now, and I'm gonna turn around and just throw a punch behind me in the air, like jump around and just swing, like I'm starting to lose it.
You probably missed Kendall by a few inches.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to hit.
I sitting in the snow and next to this car, that rental car, the Enterprise rental car that this guy created. I'm just gonna turn around and I'm just gonna punch into the side of the car.
Your hand goes straight through the metalwork and straight through the interior bodywork. It's collapsing almost like it's made of paper. And your
Yes.
hand is fine. There's no pain at all.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Inside, I saw Fran doing something with the phone. Yeah, you still got perfect signal.
No, what I'm doing is, I've already been able to sort of see there's something behind me. So I'm going to try and take its picture,
Ah, okay.
my phone.
Give me a dex roll.
I got a 54 out of 60.
That's success. Yeah, you snap and then look at the picture. You can
Yeah.
give me a sand check if you look at it.
Look at it.
Hey, Ralph, look at this.
Whoops. Let's see, 53. That is a pass.
Pass. The only person that didn't get the D20 hit. In which case, it's just a D6.
D6. 5.
You can still give me that int roll then.
31. Passed.
Yeah, you suddenly realize that, yeah, this thing is physical. This thing is really there, and it is right behind you.
All right.
How do you wish
I-
to flip out?
I scream hysterics.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I'll probably run out to where they are.
So I was going to say, the three of you then hear the scream coming from inside, and it's getting louder and closer as Fran just runs
The
outside.
question is, do I have blood?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I try.
I'm screaming and showing my phone. It's black at the moment, but
Yeah, I'm gonna take to stand up and just gonna take your phone. It's not the goddamn Rapture.
no. There's something behind me. I got a picture of
There's
it.
something behind all of us.
All of us.
And there's probably one behind the lawyer. So we're going to go get him. And then we're all going back to that house and find out how to get rid of them.
Why would there be anything at that house?
Because it came from the sky in a beam of light. This guy saw it. I don't know what he was doing out there, but he did. That's where they came down. That's where we're going to send them back up.
They're aliens.
I don't know what they are.
Alien
not from
mind
around
controlled
here.
monsters.
We have to get the lawyer.
Yeah. I agree. We need to get the lawyer, get back to that house and see what the hell.
Ed, I gave you my card. Did you call him?
Yes. Yeah, I did. And he's noted his wife. It's dust now, I think.
They said he just lived down the street a little.
I check my pocket for the keys, and
Yeah.
I squeeze them a little bit.
Yeah, the plastic's getting soft.
We don't have much time.
Just give me.
Well, apparently, we have time. We're
Sounds
not
so We can
deteriorating.
walk. It's not so cold.
Things are freaking.
Right.
This doesn't seem right. Something's really wrong with us.
They're aging us.
But not us.
They're feeding on us when they're finished.
Well, it seems
We
like
need to
they're
get rid
feeding
of-
on everybody else.
Do I have signal on my phone? It's
Yeah.
still.
Perfect
All right.
signal.
I just go step off to the side. Just give me a minute. I call my daughter's phone that I gave her, her little watch phone for kids,
Yeah, sure.
and
Yeah. Okay, it rings. It rings. It rings, and then picks up. Hello, is it Daddy?
hey, Mary.
Hello?
Mary, are you with Grandma?
Yeah, Grandma's here. Did you want to speak to Grandma?
Oh, Mary, I love you so much. You be real good to Grandma now, okay?
Yeah, I'm being good. I'm a good girl.
I love you so much. Grandma loves you so much too. You take real good care. Have a great time. And I just want you to know I love you so much.
Oh, okay, Daddy. That's nice.
All right. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Just be real good to Grandma.
I'm being good.
All right. Good night, my darling.
No, Daddy.
I have to look again.
She seems fine.
You're looking at. I'm gonna.
I have to see what it was.
No.
I'm going to look at the picture again.
No.
Okay, yeah, you've taken the hit from it, so you don't need to worry about rolling again. It's the same stimulus, effectively. But yeah, there's this thing which kind of resembles a almost mummified child, but the head is extended like a balloon, and the whole thing is just wrapped in this kind of folded bits of skin. One of the folds opens so you can see this black void where you think an eye maybe could be. This thing was definitely looking at you.
It's absolutely horrible.
Yo, upload that thing to the world. Let's go. Let's get to the house. Seriously.
Yeah,
People
I
need
think
to know this.
that's our only chance. We've got to get there. Figure
Drive the
this
whole
out.
world insane.
Here. I just want to look at it again. Can I see your picture?
Text it to him.
I take it and I throw
As far as
the phone as far as I can.
goes off into the dark.
I don't have a lot of money. I don't care. We've got to find out how to stop this thing.
Yeah, let's go get the lawyer because he has one of these things too.
What are you doing with the guy on the ground?
He's coming.
Mhm.
He's coming.
He has to show
I've
us
lost
where.
like half my sanity. I'm a little unhinged right now. He's coming.
He has to show us where this happened.
Okay, you
Right.
bundle the guy into the car. In terms of kind of his mental state, yeah, he's kind of similar to Ed, except he rolled slightly higher on his sand loss. Like the 20 came up on his die. So his mind is kind of snapped. He's muttering vague bits of there's some words that come out of his mouth occasionally that seem to make they sound like English, but otherwise he's just almost burbling.
Let's keep an eye out because I think I can remember what Carter's car looked like.
Yeah, it's a big black sedan, so a nice what they call them, big black Cadillac type thing.
Yeah.
So you drive on down Main Street then. Guy in the back, say, just curled up on the back seat, burbling to himself. you're going through the Eagle Lake, the town, and the lights are slowly going out one by one around you. There's nothing moving out there now, and occasionally piles of grey dust that are just blowing in the wind and being covered by snow. Cars that have careened off the road or smacked into each other, so you're having to weave around. There's no traffic and no sign of life until you get to this one building that's on an intersection where you can see a light on upstairs, and suddenly there's this crashing sound as what looks to be a chair gets thrown through a window. It seems to be coming from what looks like maybe an apartment above an office that just says Carter and Carter Law Firm.
There he is. Over here.
Yeah.
I am getting out of the car and I'm barging in and going up the stairs.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
What?
You in your state, you're maybe a little bit confused that you just run straight ahead. So you go straight through the plate glass in front of the building. The glass just collapses around you, and there's no pain, there's no cut, there's no feeling.
Yep.
You run through the office and find the back staircase without any difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fairly open plan. And you just follow the sound of wailing and crying and screaming. You pass by what looks to be a bedroom as you go up there, and there's just this pile of dust with a sheet over it. That you can see what maybe would have been a head laying back into a pillow. And from a couple of doors down, you find it sounds like the lawyer is destroying the kitchen.
I'm going to go there.
Pulling a Miller special.
Yeah, it seems like he's going through all the drawers. He's pulling out. When you come in, he pulls out this huge, what looks to be a butcher's knife or like a butcher's blade, and just starts whacking it into his hand and into his stomach. And as the blade goes, what will seem to be through him, it just turns to dust. So he picks up another knife and tries to jab it in his eye, and then he's just got a handful of dust, and the rest of it's pouring down his cheek.
Mr. Carter.
What is going on?
Do you really want to know?
My wife, she's
Everybody's gone. Everybody's turned to dust. We got to go back to that house. We got to fix this.
What is this? Fix what? What is this to fix?
Wipe the blood that's kind of coming down from my eyes.
He hasn't got that.
It's something. It's really something to see. I'm not sure you really want to know.
He just looks at you in astonishment and then just collapses to his knees and just bawls his eyes out, crying.
Now, let's go.
Yeah. There's some sort of weird parasite or something like that attached to each of us, I'm thinking. They're using us to spread this disease.
I will lead him if he's letting me. Back to the car.
He's not putting up any kind of fight. You have to kind of manhandle him, but you kind of push him along and he will stumble his way back down to the car. I said the car seats 7, so you've got plenty of room.
Okay, I got him. Let's go.
As soon as he's in, I haul ass towards the house.
Okay. Right, give me a luck roll. This would be a group luck roll, so whoever has the lowest.
45 luck.
57.
Oh, wait.
I've got.
I have navigate too.
Mm-hmm.
I have 65 luck, so I think it's Stu.
Again, somehow it's always me with the lowest luck. 32. 32
Okay.
out of 45.
In which case, you are lucky that as you head back, you drive back the way you came. You pass a speeding car which is running right past you, going in the other direction. Lights spinning on top of the car. It's the same patrol car that went
Car
to go
number
and
3?
look for this. Yeah, car number 3. It's heading back into town.
And is there somebody in it?
Yes, there is. There is
Yeah.
a single officer in the front seat.
I'm beeping and waving.
Okay, he just drives past you and heads back into town.
I don't know if we want to catch up with him. If we're carrying a disease with these parasites,
We have all of them with us.
I just keep going towards the house because I'm thinking this car is going to give out at any time, and I don't want to be walking in the snow.
Right.
We're plague bearers, basically.
I'll let your luck roll ride that you are right. As you start getting towards the house, first of all, one of the back tires goes out, and you can feel the car starting to creak around you, and bits of it start to drop off. But thankfully, as you're driving along on snow, driving along even on the rim is still possible with the other wheels intact. To cut not so long story short, you get back to the house, and then about just as you're pulling up, that's when the other back wheel pops, and the tire just it's not so much it pops and it's like a puncture, it's just the tire's gone.
So we're riding on rims, basically.
Yeah, on the rear.
wheel.
Mm-hmm. But as it's four-wheel drive, at least the front two are still dragging you ahead, so you're able to pull up and not lose control. And yep, you are back at the house. The lights are all off now, and as you pull up the barn that's next to the house, the roof gives way and collapses in on the car inside, and the car just there's not like the alarm goes off because its structural integrity is gone as well. It folds like a deck of cards, and there's just for a second it just falls in on itself, and there is just this pile of dust.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go walk through the front door.
Quite literally. So you smack straight through, and yeah, you're inside. The dust is even thicker in the air. It's almost like fog now.
The
and you can
business
hear the
card
house creaking.
I left behind, is it gone?
No, it's still there.
Look at this. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, we were fine until we came to this house, so we got something here. And now
Safe. Was in a safe.
Yeah.
Be careful going up the stairs.
Mm-hmm. You say you're heading to the safe then?
Yep.
You can give me a dex check to see if you can make it up the stairs without them collapsing underfoot.
With 13 luck, I can.
Okay, you are able to avoid various sections of it. When you put your foot on it, you can feel your foot going through the wood as it just disintegrates underneath your tread. You're able to grab hold of the banister, which is a bit more reinforced, and then hugging it all the way up, you're able to get to the first landing and then back up to the second landing, so you are on the second floor. And then rush over to the study. Everyone else at this point?
We're not going to try to go upstairs because,
Yeah.
we'll
I'll go
collapse the
in.
stairs.
and wait at the base of the stairs. I want to go up with Ed, but I also don't want to jeopardize the stability of the stairs for Ed to come back down.
He's smaller and lighter than all of us, so.
I mean, then again, I don't think we'd be hurt if we fell, but just in case.
There is that. So Raph as well doing the same thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty heavy dude, so.
All right, so you're all waiting downstairs. Likewise, Guy's still out in the car. In fact, the lawyer is staying with the guy who's burbling in the back seat. You get to the safe. It's still there with the painting having swung out. In fact, the painting's got one of the hinges has gone, so it's kind of almost leaning away from the wall at this point.
Can I just go through the safe like I have with the car door?
Yeah, I mean, the metal is still, it's not solid, but it's almost like Play-Doh, that it's putty that you can mold it and start to twist it as it's definitely lost its strength. You can even rip the thing out of the wall if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm going to rip it out and just pry it open.
Okay, you're kind of pulling bits of it away. And yeah, inside there's what looks to be bundles of cash. There's some jewelry. There's some envelopes that maybe have got documents in, and also something that looks like or maybe a journal or some kind of leather-bound volume anyway.
Well, I'm reading anything. I'm trying to find the will or something like if so.
Okay, well, the envelopes of paper, if you're looking for the will, you think that's probably where they would be. They wouldn't be in the book. You grab hold of them, and the paper just crumbles to dust.
Son of it.
You reckon if you wanted to try something a bit like the book, you're going to have to be careful trying to open it, because that again looks like it's got integrity, but it's like holding an ancient text. You have to be very delicate with it.
I'm going to try to find my center and calm down. A 90, that does not happen. Like, throw the book open.
Okay, you tear the book in half, just ripping it. Your hand goes through half of it, so you almost destroy most of it. And you're left with an entry that looks like it's probably from a few years ago release. You're not too sure how far back it went, but it was an old book by the look of it. The handwriting is quite nice and neat and cursive. And it just seems to, at this point in the volume, seems to have deteriorated to very short entries. Like, the monkeys have done it again. They're going to ruin this planet. We don't deserve to live here. They've killed the dodo. They've killed, almost killed the albatross. They've almost killed the condor. When is this going to stop? And it just seems to be a running rant of all man's destruction upon the earth.
I'm just flipping through it until I can find the end. Does it mention anywhere? How does it take out the monkeys?
Yeah, you end up, say, destroying pages as you're going through this until you finally get to the last page. And all it says on the last page is, if we can't have the world, then no one can. And then it's just underlined.
Throw it against the wall. I'm going back downstairs.
Okay. You throw it against the wall and it collapses in a shower of dust. And you can head downstairs. You found a way to get up and down it, so you don't have to roll each time now. So those of you that are downstairs, you can see where Ed is putting his feet, and you think, yeah, actually, that's probably going to be a safe way for you to get up there as well.
It's all gone. The safe's all gone. The safe's gone. All the papers are gone. The journal talking about getting rid of humanity's gone now.
However, when you're at the top of the stairs and you're about to go down, you do notice that one of the doors that was shut up there is now open. It's kind of fallen again. The hinges have eroded and the door's fallen down, and it leads into what you thought was a closet. So all the clothes have completely disintegrated, as has what looks to be a fake wall at the back of it, showing a staircase going up.
Everybody get up here.
Ed, I'll start carefully going up that side of the stairs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You all get to the second floor. I mean, the floorboards are creaking under you. One of the doors that was attached to one of the doorways leading into the guest bedroom collapses, falls onto the floor, and then falls through the floor down into the library underneath it.
There's a stairs going up.
To an attic?
And I was hidden behind a wall that's gone now.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, we're looking for answers. I'm ready to go anywhere.
More stairs.
Start slowly going up, see the edge of the stair along the side of the wall, so there's more structural support.
Yep. As you found the staircase down there, that does hold your weight and get you up there, and takes you up into the attic, which does indeed fill the top where the roof is. It's plenty enough height to stand in. You've got a walkway that essentially goes like a cross across the house, and then the wall slants in each of the directions. So you've got a cross that you can walk with, and the stair leads you up into. The room is almost empty. There's nothing stored up here, apart from off to your left, there's a window, a circular window, which points towards the east. So it's the direction away from the house. It would be basically around the back of the house from where you had pulled up and parked, so you couldn't see it from where you were outside. Sticking through that window, there's a large brass, quite well polished telescope, again probably an antique, pointed towards the horizon. Next to that, there's a lectern, which is open, and there's this huge book, which has a rather dubious looking material for its cover, and almost what seems to be a spine, like a real human spine for the spine of the book. as the bone is then it's tied in with the pages in the interior, so it's got quite a sturdy cover that's open on a particular spread of pages. And immediately in front of that, there's what looks to be a chalk circle which has been drawn on the floor with various symbols or letters, perhaps in some kind of language that has been inscribed. Except the problem is you can't really see too much of it because there's just this big pile of dust which is sat almost like a cone in the middle of the circle.
Middle of it. I would like to go over and take a look at the book.
And you're about the only person that can stand a chance of reading it.
It's written in Greek.
Yes.
Edoine Sophia. Okay.
You have enough.
I've got Greek.
Yeah, you have enough to. You don't have to worry rolling because your level is high enough that you're fluent with it. You can see that this is written in quite a steady hand. It's not printed. Likewise, it's illuminated at the bottom in a fairly Gothic script. But this bit down in the bottom right is handwritten in a different hand. In fact, it's written in ballpoint pen. Taking a couple of seconds to think and focus on it. This is the translation. So someone wants to read that out?
See Here is wisdom. The old wizards knew him and named him Quashil Utaus. Seldom is he revealed, for he dwelleth beyond the outermost circle in the dark limbo of unsphered time and space. Dreadful is the word that calleth him, though the word be unspoken, save in thought. For Quashil Utaus is the ultimate corruption, and the instant of his coming is like the passage of many ages, and neither flesh nor stone may abide his treading, but all things crumble beneath it, atom from atom. And for this, some have called him the treader of the dust. Though Quachil Utaus cometh but rarely, it hath been well attested that his advent is not always in response to the spoken rune and the drawn pentacle. Few wizards indeed would call upon a spirit so baleful. From the days of Hyperborea, the great wizard Ebon suggests that the white sibyl of Polarian has bound the treader of the dust to a scroll at the cost of many lives, upon which had been written the prophecy that Komorium would be destroyed. Binding Quachil Utaus to the scroll and sending it to the capital would thus bring true the prophecy with the help of the conduits for the gods. Those who came close to the scroll and would carry the corrupting touch of Quachil Utaus far and wide in an effort to turn all of Hyperborea to dust. Only by summoning the treader of the dust once again was the binding to the scroll broken and the ties to its conduit shattered. But let it be understood that he who readeth to himself in the silence of his chamber, the formula given hereunder, must incur a grave risk if in his heart there abideth only openly or hidden, the least desire of death and annihilation. For it may be that Quachil Utaus will come to him, bringing that doom which toucheth the body to eternal dust, and maketh the soul as a vapor forever evermore dissolved. And the advent of Quachil Utaus is foreknowable by certain tokens, for in the person of the evocator, and even perchance in those about him, will appear the signs of sudden age, and his house and those belongings which he hath touched will assume the marks of untimely decay and antiquity. And then she or he has written in, I will save the world from the corruption of humanity. There seems to be something written here that may be words of invocation for this Quatia Utaus.
But it says something about undoing this, that we're the ones following and spreading it. We have to call it here.
It said something
To
about
break
having
it.
a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
The card in your hand. It's not corrupted, is it?
No.
And neither is this book.
What if the scroll is actually that card and our Mr. Carter is somehow in league with it? Do we need to resummon this thing in order to send it back?
That's what it says.
That's what it said. At least it insinuated.
Look through the rest of the book, see if there's anything else in there.
It's not possible. It's a big, gigantic tome.
It's a huge thing. You can flick through the pages. You maybe tentatively start pulling the pages and folding them over. It's nowhere brittle as anything else in the house that you've encountered. And also your own clothes are still pretty rugged. But yeah, this thing is, I mean, it's old, but it's still pretty robust. It's a huge book. You can get from looking through, if you wanted to skip right to the front to kind of get an idea of the title. It's presented as the Testaments of Carnamagus. Yeah, Carnamagos. It seems to be a collection of pieces of lore. I mean, it talks of Hyperborea. It talks of Zothique. It also references the continent at the end of the world. It just seems gibberish. Nothing that you've heard of before.
Some old wizard's book. Not that I believe in such things, but here it is.
You don't believe it?
I'm ready to believe anything now. There's things attached to our backs or following us.
Well, while I'm looking at this, why don't you look through that telescope there and see what this person was looking at?
And I'm going to go
Have
get
not
the other
touched
two.
it.
They need to be here, what we call that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you start having a look out through the telescope. It's positioned pretty much towards the tree line over the eastern horizon. So if maybe it's looking at something that appears at a certain time of day, it may correlate with the sun, but that'd be a weird thing to have a look at through a telescope if you want to keep your eyes intact.
If it's pointed exactly east, today is the winter solstice.
Yes.
It is. Mm-hmm.
That's
So
right.
the sun wouldn't actually be coming up right in the east. It would be coming up over to one side. I don't know. All of this seems very mystical, and
I'm getting the other two people from the car and bringing them
Right.
up here.
Sure.
I'm going to see if there's anything like on the page before or after it was open to.
Look for that weird name that you kept saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's that big kind of Gothic illuminated script of those three words at the bottom of the page. It reiterates a bit more on the similar kind of theme, that it's talking about this being as being from outside of sphered. It's from unsphered space and unsphered time. There's references to, well, something. It's definitely a pronoun anyway. Yog Sothoth. That it's something that's outside of all realities, and that it's from the outer dark, something that exists beyond the limit of the confines of this universe.
Well, something that needs to be sent back where it came from.
Yes.
Yeah, these ugly little fuckers.
Get them all here.
Yep. So
I'm going to clear out this circle of the dust.
Yeah,
See if
you
we can-
brush what was left of Ophelia Atwood away. Yeah.
And is the circle and everything still well drawn, or should I find somebody to redraw it?
No, it's still pretty much perfect on the floor.
Okay.
Right, yeah, in which case then Ed comes up with the other two, one gibbering. Well, he's not so much gibbering now. He is actually seeming to make a bit more sense, that he's a bit more coherent. And as he's coming up here, I mean, he looks around wildly. This was where I saw it come in. It came through the roof. It descended in here. It's not here, is it?
No.
Oh.
Don't worry, it's not.
I suppose
Good.
y'all stand around in a circle.
Well, what are we doing?
We're trying to send whatever it is back where it came from.
Back to the stars?
Yes.
Get rid of
Okay. He just starts rocking. The lawyer is just doing a 1,000-yard stare, and you can just see tears just running down his cheeks.
So I don't know, hold hands maybe?
Is there a door leading from the stairs down into this room area?
You kind of come up through a hatch,
Okay.
but there's no covering on it.
Oh, so I can't like close a hatch just in
Uh,
case somebody makes a run for it?
You could position yourself in the way. That's
Okay,
probably
I will
about
position myself in the way. This needs to happen. I don't want anyone bugging out.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's no problem doing that. You stand in a circle.
Well,
We need
lead away.
Lord help us all. So as soon as they're around me in a circle, I'll look down at the book and I will recite the words, which I didn't write down, so I don't know what they are. But
Exclopios cochilotas.
there you go.
Yeah. If you're the one doing it, give me a D10.
05. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I rolled them both.
Well, if you want 1, 4, 5, and 1 for, because I was going to ask for 2 D10s separately. So one's a 10 and one's a 5. Which way around do you want them?
10 first.
Okay, so that's 10 sanity that goes away, and the other one is 5 magic points.
From all of us, or just Tran?
Just for the one doing the casting, or in this point ripping a hole in reality.
Got it.
A pillar of greyish blue light descends upon you through the ceiling. As it does so, the roof just collapses, and this light starts to burrow through the floor like a flame through paper. And beneath you, the house collapses. You feel all of you fall, first fall through the roof, through the floor into the second floor, smack through the floor into the ground floor, smack through the floor into the basement, and then through the basement floor into complete abyssal black. But this light just keeps on shining down to infinity as you keep falling down and down and down to the point where you're not even sure that you're falling anymore. And as you're looking around, you mean you're kind of spread out a little bit as you've fallen. There's the lawyer who's away. He's not crying, but he's kind of calling in panic, going, "What the hell?" The other guy, he's just from the car, is just spinning wildly as he's trying to claw out at nothing. And the rest of you sort of slowly drift apart from them. All of you surrounding this light, that this thing that is being given a name, this Kuchil or Tas, it's the one, the singular and only, descends down the pillar of light. Seeing it again is a sand check, because you have not, unless some of you are going to be let off lightly here, because you can only lose a maximum of 20 to it. So however many you've lost previously, if you roll higher than what you've got left between what you've lost and the 20, you cap out at the 20.
Well, I rolled an 09, so I passed my sanity.
Okay, so
it's
D6,
1d6.
but you can only lose a maximum of 2.
But I rolled 2, so hey.
There you go.
But with the 10 that I just lost, I lost another 5.
Oh, right, you are definitely flipping out then. Well, presumably if you make your idea roll.
I made my idea. Yeah, my
Yeah.
intelligence.
How would you like to flip out?
I'm probably just screaming hysterically.
Okay, roll me 1d10 for how many rounds, because this is going to be important at this point.
For 8 rounds.
Okay, you're out of it for a bit, so that's 8.
I failed my roll.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 points done.
Okay, so
I
that's
14 the first time.
yeah, that's it. So yeah, you cap out of the 6.
Yeah.
Also, give me an idea roll.
I passed it.
Yep. Again, you are flipping out. So give me 1d10 for how many rounds?
8.
Oh, okay. At least you're doing it in synchronized flipping, so that's good.
I laugh. I'm just cackling.
And Kendall?
I passed San with a 19. So that's
Okay,
a
so
1d6 or 1d3?
D6.
6. 4. All right, 4
Okay.
more points down the tubes.
And are you indefinitely insane with the hit you took previously, or are you still
So
riding that?
I am indefinitely insane. So I lost 2 points. So I think I still flip out.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this will trigger a bout of madness. So yeah, roll me 1d10. Is that a 10? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, and Kendall?
Oh, I rolled a 4 loss of San.
Okay, so then how much have you lost previously?
From the beginning, I
Mhm.
started with 65 San at the beginning, and I'm all the way down to 57 San.
Okay, so that's not going to be 20% if my maths is off.
Oh, pardon me. Oh, no. I had 57. I need to minus that. So I'm down to 53. So I started at 65. I'm down to 53.
Okay.
So 12 is a fifth of 60, but not 13 would be a fifth of 65.
Yeah,
So
so
that's-
65 minus 20%. Oh,
So 20% would, be 13. So I'm
Yes.
1 shy. I'm 1 shy.
oh right, you are not indefinitely insane yet. So
I've
Yeah.
lost half my sanity.
oh, right, you are. So some of you are doing significantly worse than others. Kendall, it seems then, is the only one that's keeping his shit together.
Oh, yeah, just falling.
And I'm madly trying to claw my own eyes out at this point. That is what I am doing.
Especially confronted with this thing again, I think that is a completely reasonable response to what's going on then. So that is, as it stands here, you're not able to hurt yourself. So yeah, you're trying clawing away,
I'm
and
still trying.
nothing much is happening as a result. But what Kendall sees then realizes that you're not falling, you're just floating in this void, but you are capable of a certain degree of movement. If you try and force yourself forward, momentum can carry you in various directions. To try and move, you can give me a dex roll to try and go in any one particular direction. What you see happening, though, which might influence where you want to go to, is this thing floats out of the pillar of light, and first of all, it goes straight over to the guy who was burbling for a lot of the time. The guy who was in the car that saw it descend. It floats over fairly calm and fairly collectedly, taking a few rounds to do so in the process. It just reaches out with one of these spindly arms and just touches him, and he just collapses and just disperses as this pile of this dust that goes off into the dark. You're pretty sure you don't want this thing touching you.
Oh, that's not
What
good.
do you want to do?
So whoever's closest to me, and can I grab somebody with my right hand and my left hand? Am I that close?
Give me a luck roll to see if you are.
Okay. Oh, great, my luck. 50 on the button, and I've got 45. So no.
They
Does
are
that allow
just
one
out.
person?
I'll say you can get one. So who is the one person you want to choose to be
Oh,
closest to?
whoever's closest to me. I have no idea whoever's.
Your choice.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, Fran. I grab Fran.
Okay.
And I start going away from that. I'm trying to figure out how to move away from that with Fran. Like, we don't want to be near that.
Okay, you can give me a combined Dex and Strength roll, so it has to be a success under whichever is the lower one.
Okay, Strength and Dex. Oh, they're both 55, so there we go. So
Makes it
we'll
easy.
roll, and we'll have a 77, which is a complete fail on both counts.
Okay, you start spinning round and round, holding Fran as well, so you just keep turning over one another. That's going to take a few rounds off, so you're spinning for 5 rounds, in the process of which you're kind of catching bits of what happened as you go. First of all, it comes in your vision, then goes out of your vision, then comes back into your vision, then comes out of your vision. This is on top of a couple of rounds that have passed before it. When you finally come back to a point where you're not spinning, you see this thing floating over towards the lawyer, and again just giving a gentle caress on one side of his arm, and where it touches just starts to erupt in grey, and it consumes him, and this pile of dust disperses into the abyss. That's the 8th round of Fran and Raph flipping out. So this is where you start to come back to consciousness. Ed's got another 2 left. What do all 3 of you do at this point?
Okay, so now I can see that thing moving out.
Yep, you catch the last bits of the lawyer's face just start to disappear into dust.
Say that thing again.
I don't remember what it was. I'm
again?
I'm kind of freaking out as to where I am right now. Is the thing moving like around, going to each person?
Yep.
I
And
think
next,
okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, next up is whoever has the lowest luck.
That would be me. Lowest dice roll luck or actual?
No, the actual luck. Points of luck
That's
you've
me.
got left.
Yeah, 45.
It's coming towards Kendall next, and Kendall's only an arm's length away from Fran because he did grab you.
Right. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can swim in whatever this is. I'm going to try to go to the beam of light.
Okay. Right. In which case, give me a dex roll.
That's a 64. Can I spend 4 luck?
You can spend as much luck as you like.
All right. I'll spend 4 luck to make it a success.
Okay. Right. In which case, you enter the beam of light.
Okay.
So you are indeed able to force your momentum forward, and you kind of part tumble over yourself and part spin, but you come to a stop in this wide bluish grey beam of light. Next up, because this thing is going last, we'll have Raph.
Oh, next luck. I think I have 40.
No, not so much luck. Action. So what do you wish to try and do?
I'm gonna go for the light. That's what I was gonna do before that.
Okay, no problem. Same thing. Give me a dex roll.
Yeah, 39 out of 50. So
Okay, you come to a stop, bouncing off Fran. So just again in the center of this beam. Kendall.
Let's see. So basically, we are in this fuzzy realm with this floating death creature, and there's a beam of light, and that's the only other choice. So I definitely
illimitable dark.
Yeah. So yeah, if it kills me, it kills me, but this is definitely going to disintegrate me. So I'll go for the beam. I'll do my best. Here comes Dax. Presence of mind. Do we do it? Oh, crud. Oh, that's a 74. Okay. All right. I'll spin the luck. I'll spend 20. It's just shy of 20. That's 19. That's 19 luck.
Okay.
75 would be 20. All right.
In which case, you bound on over and get into the light. And so there's now the three of you in there. It isn't gonna go for Ed, because to say it's going for the one that's got the lowest luck and seems like the easy prey, and it's just slowly coming towards you. So it passes one round and it arrives at the point when Ed will be able to act next round. So for its action, it's just going to try and caress Kendall, because it doesn't need to do violence. All it needs to do is a touch. Do you wish to try and dodge or fight back?
Me?
Yeah, you're the one that it's going for.
Okay. Oh, that's right. So I didn't make it to the light beam fast enough.
No, you got there. Just this thing catches up with you.
Okay.
It's now just going to try and just.
All right.
It can move almost like an instantaneous teleport. It just decides to play with its prey.
Dodge is 40, and and fighting brawl is 40. So yeah, so fighting would probably end up touching us. That's bad. So we basically have to do dodge. So
okay. I'm going to roll my fighting brawl, which my skill is 100.
Oh, this and all my luck. Oh, okay. All right. So there's a 56, and I have how much luck left? I have 45 minus 19. So let's see, 45 minus 20 would be 25. So I have 26 luck. So 56. So yeah, I can do this. So I'll but that's not going to make it a hard. That's just going to make it a pass. Yeah, okay. So I pass.
Okay. I rolled 08, which gives
no.
me an extreme.
No.
So it just comes over towards you. You do your best to try and move and squirm as best you can. And the last thing you feel is just this touch of this kind of mummified hand just slowly touch your forehead. And then creeping oblivion as just all sensation disappears from you. All feeling, all pain, everything just fades into dust and gets carried along the beam of light up and down into infinity, which is about an arm's reach away from Fran and Raph. So this thing is right on top of you at the beginning of the next round. So we'll start with Fran, then Raph, then Ed, and then it. So Fran's first.
Can I try and remember what the magic spell was and yell it?
You try and focus your mind thinking what to do, and something in you kind of clicks. Or maybe it clicks, maybe it doesn't. Give me a hard power roll.
37 out of 60, so I'd have to spend 7 points of luck to get a hard.
Okay, you do so. It's almost as if from Raph's position right next to him that suddenly Fran elongates like a rubber band being stretched, or maybe a balloon being stretched, and suddenly shoots up like a cork out of a bottle going straight up the beam of light and is just gone into the distance. What does Raph want to do? Follow.
I'll try and do that.
Give me a hard power roll.
Oh boy. Oh, 9.
And again, just as this thing is turning to look in your direction, thinking you're the only one that's in arm's reach, stretch and pop, and straight up the beam of light. That leaves Ed alone in the void with this thing. What does Ed want to do?
Ed will embrace the end.
Okay. In which case, if you're welcoming oblivion, this thing slowly comes over towards you. Its folds of its face opening to reveal these two black, dead eyes as it brings these two spindly arms round your midsection in a caress and there is sweet, calm release and oblivion. Fran and Raph. Indeed, into nothing. Fran and Raph, there is a flash of blue-grey light, and you find yourselves being catapulted up into the air, and then gravity reasserting itself, you go a few feet up and then come a few feet back down in a crash, but thankfully into a wonderfully soft carpet of dust. You're having to kind of spit it out of between your lips, kind of get it out from your eyes. It's all over you. But you find yourselves in a pit where the house once stood, where the whole thing has collapsed in on itself. And there is just dust everywhere. Apart from in the center, where this book with a human bone spine sits closed. The only other thing besides you that is intact in this whole area. And it is deathly cold.
Okay. I'm going to grab the book.
I don't know what the hell just happened, but
Well, I can feel cold again, so gotta get the hell out of here.
I think we got a kid to look after now.
Okay, there's just the two of you here. And the car's trashed. So is the one that was in the garage. That's flattened. So it's a bit of a walk. It's about 2 miles to the nearest house.
Well, we'll have to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you can get back to the house without that house without any issues. How does your coda want to take place here? How do you see this wrapping up for you? What, are you? Well, describe to me how are you leaving the area? What are you doing with the book, for example? How are you dealing with this?
Well, there was a cop car.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll try to find the cop car and tell him that there's something horrible happened. We don't know what. I just hope he doesn't really notice the book.
Okay, so you're aiming to go to the cop.
Yeah.
And Raph?
All I could hear echoing in my head is that phone call I was ear hustling on of Kendall and his daughter, and I know what I have to do.
I don't know where Kendall came from or where he lives.
Could figure it out. The car rental place, or
There's options. So you're gonna try and make your way back to the airport. Then it sounds like to try and get the details from car rental, while Fran goes off to try and find the cop with book in hand.
Right.
Well, Fran can give me a luck roll then, because it sounds like you're the one that's putting yourself in more immediate danger.
21. That's a pass.
Okay. You get to, having gone up the side of the lake itself and then back down the top, you get down there just at the point where you reach the military cordon. And you are stopped from going any further. It seems that word has got out that there's some kind of disaster, and everyone that they've sent forward into the town has just not come back, and all communication has been lost with them. Until they finally, it seems like they've reached or got contact with the one remaining person alive in the area, a cop who is at the police station who responded to the call that there was a car parked outside a house, and then ran back, or rather went back to town upon hearing the distress call come out from the police station, only to find that everything in the area is turning to dust, and everything that is in a mile centered directly on him is turning to dust. Yeah, it's going through in the chat. He went to the house and he came in proximity to the scroll, the book that you're holding. So he's the one remaining conduit that's left. And anything that comes within a mile of him turns to dust. So the military are basically keeping the area sealed down and going, what the hell do we do now? Well, Raph goes back to the airport. Again, takes about an hour and a half to get back there, and seems like a normal airport. I mean, it's late night, so there's the occasional bit of news that's come on the TV in some of the bars and some of the other rooms here. So there's some kind of incident that's going down at Eagle Lake, and the military have been called in, and the National Guard, but they just say more updates as we get it. And there we will leave it for tonight. That is the end of our story.
That was good. Wow. Damn.
Yeah, so it goes quite differently a lot of times that I run it. It's I've had a couple of times where people have suddenly gone, oh crap, yeah, we missed a cop car, or some of them call an ambulance to help if they do find the guy outside. And to give a bit of context on some bits that was going on there, Ophelia Atwood is a mythos sorcerer. She's found a way to live forever. Because in the testaments of Carnamagos, there are various spells that grant you immortality. So she's been around for quite a while. But she realizes that there's a few ways that she could be caught out by the modern world. Like suddenly that she starts lingering around somewhere too long, people are going to realize, hang on, why is this lady in her 30s never aging? So she comes up with the idea of moving away to a secluded place. As far as everyone else is concerned, that she's looking after her elderly mother, and then she then in turn becomes the mother, and then a new persona looks after her, and so on and so forth. Added with a couple of spells like Dominate and Mental Suggestion, she can rewrite memories and command people to think, you're going to do this, and not question it. So anyone that she does meet, she's able to control. And as far as the town is concerned, this reclusive family that never really interact with anyone, just stays out in the house and do nothing. She's very much an avid lover of nature, which is why she chose here to spend eternity. But she keeps seeing what man is doing to the world, and seeing it's polluting the environment, destroying the natural wildlife, and eventually, even though she's immortal, she just snaps and decides that this has to end. Humanity can't be allowed to continue because it's just going to spread its corruption to other planets maybe in the future. It's going to destroy the wildlife. But if I eliminate humanity, I can save the rest of the ecosystem and let the rest of the world flourish. So she calls Quetzalcoatl at the cost of her own life to become bound to the book, so that it becomes the scroll that's mentioned in the text. Anything that comes within a mile distance of that book becomes a conduit for the god, the treader in the dust. So as you've driven up, you became conduits. The lawyer became a conduit when he dropped up. The guy in the car outside is part of the system that called you all here. He's a private detective because Ophelia hired various detective agencies across the country, specifically in the cities that have the most or the highest population density in the US, so that when you went back there, you would cause the most devastation. That as she's hired various people, one of them just happened to have contacts in another agency in another city that had been charged with doing the same thing. She wanted to leave amounts in her will to people that needed it the most, because all of you had money problems. All of you could not resist the temptation or the urge to come to get to a reading of a will where money was promised when you needed it so badly. So you became prime patsies for her plan. She dies about a couple of hours before you turn up, but he has come here ahead of time, the detective, trying to work out, well, what's her angle, what's her game, what's she doing this for, and is staking out a house and sees the summoning, and his mind just completely shatters as a result. But he also becomes a conduit because he's within a mile of seeing it. And I say, you found the book, you read it, you found how to cancel it and stop yourselves from being conduits. You just left the cop that you passed your luck roll to see him coming back and just waved at him. I wasn't going to give you any more hints to say, yeah, he's going that way. You just let him go. So he is now another problem to deal with.
Well, maybe they'll question me, and I will. I mean, I don't know all the answers, but they'll be able to figure out that he's some sort of vector.
Mm-hmm.
To get him.
He's going to be taking us pretty soon.
And if they kill him, will it stop?
Can't kill
Yeah,
him.
the main problem that they have is they have to get close enough and find him and get close enough before they turn to dust, and then perform the same rite that you did to call Kuchulatas and have the conduit exposed to him again to break the link. But that might be down to a certain group that have these lovely green triangles on the folders of their
Adult
military
green.
dossiers. Yeah, that might be something that they would be called in to deal with.
I might read the book and learn how to become immortal.
That's an option. You can speak Greek. So.
Yeah. That was really a cool story.
Yeah.
Our players included Stuart Lively, Morgan Llewellyn, Jason Melnichuk, and myself, with Matthew Sanderson as the Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.